We play our game?
What? No.
Is that what we do? Yes. So.
Fine, I pushed record. Because I love cold openings. They're the best.
Hello, Internet.
Hello,
Hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet.
Fade away.
That's right. You missed Internet. You missed the part where
The
this
snap
group
happened.
forced me to type inappropriate plants on my Google search engine.
You were not forced. You
No,
did
no,
it
no.
because you wanted
Yeah.
it.
What he meant was he gleefully typed lol sexy plant.
They know how to read my fucking language.
And then I had safe search off and I discovered things that I did not want to.
That's what we
And
call
I saved a
Rule
couple of them.
34.
That's right.
So, visions from my dress. I think that's where we're going right now.
This
right?
is
a memoir.
This is where we stopped last time.
Visions from my dress.
Tonight, party. But before we get to that,
Yes.
So do I need to read these again? Because there's supposed to be
please.
one more vision that I didn't get.
Party hard, party hard.
Okay, so
Give
this
it
is
to
how
us.
I recounted them. You can laugh at how inaccurate it is, possibly, but this is
Marilena will have to recount these.
this is
at
what
some point,
Marilena
so-
knows. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so first one, I see Don Francisco with his second in command in a hideout. There are torches around it, and it looks like a supervillain's lair. They are both seated at a table. Francisco moves what looks to be a chess piece across a board as the boy watches. There's deep pride on the boy's features as the piece moves. Francisco leans back in his seat after the piece is moved, and there's a grin appearing on his features as a smell akin to gunpowder comes to my nostrils. 2.
So he's either fucking bad news bears and we're helping him, or everything's bad news bears and we're helping them.
Yeah, isn't that weird though? It's like, oh, moving a chess piece, that's a villain, evil man. Oh, I guess it also said it was a super villain's lair, but whatever. 2.
It only looks like a supervillain's lair. It's a red herring.
I see a corridor in a large building, not quite a palace. People are wearing the colors of the winter sun. Who are wearing the colors of the winter sun are dead on the ground. One of them is still up with a sword raised. Wait. He's dead but still up? I don't know what I was writing. Opposite them, I recognize a battered but defiant Isaac holding ground with a sword in hand. Behind him, the flag of Odisseo unfurls from the top.
And his clothes fall away.
He tries to cover up, but I've already seen everything.
Suddenly, the mood lighting
Oh
comes
wait, that
on.
was Jimenez.
Someone-
dream, not-
Somebody's playing a saxophone.
Somehow he's wearing a V-neck shirt, but you don't see the tip of the V.
It just points
just
right
like a-
down to where you
Yeah.
want it.
It's not a V.
Yeah. The sides never connect.
Oh no! Okay, and the last one that I know about. I see a dirty hovel. I've been here before. A mousy man wearing a pair of dirty spectacles looks outside his window and sees flashes coming. He grabs a chest from the mantel of his little apartment. As it comes into range of the candles, I see Hector, the one who gave me the ring from his dead wife. From the chest, he grabs a pair of pistols, grabs a sword from the mantel, and disappears into the darkness.
Three Musketeers shit.
Yep.
And that's what I remember.
Take your fucking glasses so you shoot straight.
That's right. Before you wake, you get one last set of images. And this one is hazy, almost like you're looking at it either through fog or smoke, and you're looking at what looks like the ruins of a burned building. And there's a lot of debris, right? Like, it's not just the building itself. Like, you notice that there's bloodied swords. You see like tatters of the Castilian flag in there. You basically just see like a bunch of shit, and what you can only assume are your hands are sort of digging through There's the a moment debris. happening over here. Right, like
Sorry.
I'm sitting across and I see the expression
Sorry.
as his eyebrow was obviously
When you said
trying
my
to
hands,
stay
I thought,
in
are my hands just like disembodied? Like
No.
doing things on their own?
Sorry, I was distracted by the
you're-
texture of this fucking.
You're watching yourself
Comfort.
sort of dig through the debris, almost as if you're looking for something. For a moment, you pause and you look around, and you see what you can only
Describe.
think are your comrades, right? Like you see, but they're all silhouetted at the edge of that fog, right? You see like Rethold's silhouette and Jimena's and Genia's. You can sort of see Ricardo like next to Genia, but you can't see faces. And as you dig through the debris, you start coming up with like there's like bloody rags in there. There's like hints that they may be like bones or body parts, but your hand sort of finds something and it looks like half of a disc of rusted metal, and as you pull it out, you instinctively like try to brush it off to clean it, and then you feel the other figures of your comrades coming into the light. You see now their features sort of looking down, and when you look at your hand, you're holding half of a battered crown.
Wait, do my comrades look like my comrades though, or are they just like freaking zombies?
Yeah,
Because
it's
that's
clearly
I
them.
thought it was going there.
They
You just
were-
can't see our faces.
They were sort of like shadowed and indistinct, but like once this object is cleaned, you see them step closer to you into the light, and you clearly recognize your crew.
Well, what the hey?
I don't know. I just give the little man in the oven some tea, and he'll protect us.
Rethold hates that old man.
Russell has no idea the old man is there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Don't you talk about my fairies,
I guess my
my Russian fairies.
my initial interpretation is that this building has been bombed.
We're gonna use bombs? You have bombs?
I've always had bombs. I've
Hell
had bombs
yeah.
literally this-
She is a bomb.
I've had bombs literally this entire time, whether I wanted to or not.
Yeah.
Accidental bombs.
How do you need some mortars?
Bomb.com.
Thank
The
you.
last and the
Ooh,
last part makes me
no.
think that what we're doing here isn't the entire story,
Of course it's not.
Is it me? Am I the bomb?
but we might find like
Like Stewart?
finishing what we do here. We're gonna find something
Drop
out
a bomb
about
on me.
the good king.
Baby.
Mm.
Good
At least
king.
that's how I would relate it to people. That's what I think.
Just
Of course, what I think probably influences what's happening because Fate is actually my husband. So
Right.
I'm Fate's bitch, as it were.
So yeah, with that last image, you wake with a slew of new things, and it's the morning of a party.
what does my dress look like now?
What did you want your dress to look like?
Oh, I have a choice.
Did I?
No,
Yep,
but he wants
you-
input.
The last time, you tried to exert some will
Okay.
on it.
So let's see. I think color, like the colors of the Castilian flag, has to be on there somewhere. Something relatively like austere. Maybe like a one shoulder thing with like a flower.
Okay. As you wake, your dress looks
Like a one shoulder thing with a flower.
Sorry, in the
eerily,
Castilian colors.
eerily like what you described. One second here. I'm trying to give you the Castilian crest so you get an idea. Here it is.
Cool. So,
You have the hand with the cross of Theus in the palm.
Abra a las manos.
Sure.
Alma-
The flower is
Alma?
gonna be made of fabric, and then in the middle there's a
It's the
pin
hands
in
of
it, and
fate.
it's that shield.
Oh.
Oh,
She is Monos the Hands of Fate now.
Uh-oh.
Well, who's gonna take care of the castle while the master's away? Dude, you weren't here when we were talking about fucking magical Zoltan man from the other
Fucking
campaign.
Zardoz. There's
So
a fucking
we have a
character
Zardoz guy
in the
other
canon
game.
of Waterdeep that's
Oh,
named
it's-
Zardoz, and so somebody,
He's not. But he might as fucking well be.
well, somebody
He looks like him.
made fan art of him,
In
like,
the Zardoz
because he's a
onesie.
fucking like pirate circus king, right? Like, so somebody drew him like wearing the fucking
'Cause
Zardoz.
he does look like that. Sean Connery.
Technically,
Zardoz.
it's Zed's
Yeah,
outfit.
his name is
Oh, I'm
Zardoz.
sorry. The
That's
character is Zed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Zardoz is the floating head that
Yep.
spits guns at them and is apparently flown by naked people, although that's never explained.
Yes,
It's
So Sean Connery character was Zed.
Yes.
because that
Zed.
movie
Zed
is
from
beautiful.
Zardoz.
Yeah,
Got
Zed
it.
from Zardoz.
We're making a pact that we should watch this movie. There's people in this
100%.
crew that haven't seen it, and we're posting
mean,
pictures.
like,
And I was
we-
posting the picture of like Sean Connery in the wedding dress because I was like, this also happens in this movie.
But yes, the character's name is Zardoz.
Amanda?
No, it's Zardoz,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zardoz.
Zardoz.
Then it's
as,
straight up fucking.
as claimed in the book.
Why wouldn't it be?
Zardoz Zord.
Yeah.
Well, see if if the character's name
I
is
feel
Zed
like
in the
they
movie.
took some inspiration.
Yeah. Well, Zardoz the head.
Yeah, Zardoz is the head. It's the god that the
Right. It spits
the-
guns.
got a cold nose. Oh my
guns
heat.
that the poor people worship because it spits guns at them.
Yep. So yeah, morning of the party here, because now that I mentioned it, I can load that Chekhov's gun. This is the art that
Yep.
people have
Yes,
made.
yes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
That's it.
This is the guy we're gonna murder in the next session. Probably unjustifiably. I have a hunch that he's sort of a red herring.
Yeah.
But fuck it, we're the vigilante Batmans of Waterdeep now, so we do what we want because we have the okay of the magic because of Magic Mommy. So
Magic mommy.
you can tell Jaren I said that, he'll chuckle.
Sure.
Okay. I won't do that.
All right.
Well, his character and her character have like a notice me senpai thing with this NPC, and it's
I'm trying really hard to deny that it's
fucking
actually
hilarious.
true, though.
It's great. I'm sorry, this is a different fucking game.
Yeah.
Cool. So you have a cool like strapless thing going on
Yeah.
with a slit
One
that goes
shoulder.
all the way up to your neck. Like what?
I have been trying to find a way to. I'd probably have to draw it, but I'm lazy and my hand hurts. So
You come downstairs and Rethel is wearing the exact same thing.
Nope, I put it on first.
Well, one of us is going to have to change. This is embarrassing.
I was gonna say, it's like, oh, so embarrassing.
well, honestly though, I wouldn't
And then
be
Magnus
wearing.
walks in and also the exact same thing.
I wouldn't be wearing the dress right now because it's not evening yet.
That's right.
And Magnus goes, triplets.
Yeah.
And I have to do the wardrobe change in the evening.
Yeah, we have to ring the bell and everything.
Get that doge.
Get
Touch that bread loaf.
You do look like bread.
Yes. All right. So as you wake, Marilena, you always wake up pretty early. So the kitchen crew is starting to work. That's Veronica. Zhenya, now that she's patched up, I assume, is back to her old habits.
Have to work around Jimena,
Yep.
who is once again passed out.
Yep.
No, Jenny's back to her habits. She had some nice sleep-in days because of the Limovoy in the house. Veronica and Olivia and Ricardo have been making jam with all the fucking fruit they bought.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And,
It's
We bought-
cases
we
upon
bought the whole
cases of
shop.
fucking fruit.
yep, so they're canning and preserving the fruit and making jams.
There's
And,
there's a bowl of assorted fruit that Magnus and I are just taking a bite out of each one and putting it down and trading and taking another bite out
That's
of it.
right.
Just being like, have you tried this?
Have you seen this?
Right. So
Look at
there's
this one.
half-bitten fruit.
Yeah, it's like, that's dragon fruit. You're not supposed to. The outside's kind of rough. You're like, no, the inside's tasty though.
We're doing this
The
wrong.
inside doesn't really taste like a whole lot, but like the outside's starting to bite back.
He's got fucking
Little poppy seeds.
pieces of it like in his beard.
Yeah. Ricardo is teaching Zhenya how to pickle cucumbers.
Yeah, he is. Hey.
Cucumbers specifically.
Yeah.
Ba-bum-bum. She takes a really big crunchy bite out of it.
Hey, as long as he's down with it.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
Everything between
No,
consenting
that whole
adults.
terrible
Right.
bear situation.
You do you. You do you.
Yeah, I mean, she takes heed to leave a little bit of anything they make on the hearth. It always disappears by morning, and yeah, she's just living her fucking life now.
You got an extra set of hands this morning because Antonia's up.
Oh,
And she looks dressed for not extravagantly, right? Like you've seen her wearing a pretty nice dress when Marlena brought her in, but she's definitely more middle class in style right now, looking more functional. Her hair is up, and she basically rolls up, right? Like, and is sort of asking if there's anything you need assistance with. So if you have work for her, she will help you.
Jimena's snoring.
everyone just steps over her.
Basically, every once in a while, like someone will accidentally like nudge her a little bit, and you get to like. She's dirty as usual.
Virginia's taking cases of jars downstairs.
Be careful down there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's my laboratory as well.
There's a whole side of the basement that's been
Virginia kind of looks at it like, nope.
yeah, it's occupied. There's no yellow tape, but you don't need it, right? Like you can clearly see the marks.
Like she probably like drew a line in the dirt. Like
Yeah.
no crossing.
There's also soot and other things, like some of it like bright colors, like on the ground. Ah! Tony wasn't looking.
It's just boom written in 4 different languages.
Yeah,
Splatoon.
Yep.
terrible.
Or it's all just it's just the boom and Thean.
Yeah.
So the universal language.
Yes.
Not that Jenny can read. I don't know what these markings are. It's dirty.
Where was the boom?
Yeah, there's a bunch of like cylindrical casings propped on one of the walls, like about yay high, with a wick on all of them.
Mama's fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Genia doesn't know how to read, but they're labeled.
yeah. Like,
Okay.
Everything is so
typed
scratchy.
the description to you.
Okay.
Someone's review of Arby's. Arby's has become a wild place. Absolutely no identity, and I love it. Roast beef? A hero? Mac and cheese? Or stuffed fried jalapenos? Have a ball! It's just like someone was like, went to Arby's. Arby's is fucking, yeah, Arby's is going through a midlife crisis and trying new things right now until something sticks. I'm an Arby's apologist. Anyway.
And they call fish like sea meat or something.
oh my god.
Oh no, that's exactly what I put into that. I was like, I fucking love their marketing, but even as a bad vegetarian, I have no reason to go there.
So yeah, Marlena, this is the scene as you wake. Most of the household is awake, and I say most because Jimena is clearly still asleep, but including Antonia. You see Antonia down there, sort of working, helping Ricardo and
How dare.
the hunched over, like.
Hey, you look guilty, then you must be guilty. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, she's helping with jams. She sort of nods at you when you come down.
Antonia. Who's that again? Is that one of the extras?
That was the
Isn't she
The-
your? Isn't she your
the-
mini?
the
Your
lady
fate
you
witch.
killed, her person.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
thought
thought,
she
her
said
name
Fate
was,
Witch.
I thought her name started with an O.
No, Olivia is the girl that she saved
No,
from
no,
her.
Aurelia.
See, this is why I name all mine Jose.
Yep, it is Aurelia.
Just saying.
Aha.
Okay,
Antonio was somebody else, I think.
Yes.
I didn't save that one.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm the one that usually saves all the women, but I don't know this one. Where'd this one? Who brought her home?
I would say women
No,
too.
this is the one that she brought home after she killed the lady.
Yes, but that's
Yeah.
Aurelia.
Aurelia.
Yeah, that's
So-
that's who he meant.
So
Oh,
Aurelia
okay.
Serrano. Yeah.
There we go. I'm like,
All
wait,
are welcome
like
in
who's
the arms.
Antonia? What?
who's the Duke?
She's the
No.
Duchess.
Mm-hmm.
All are welcome in the arms of Jose. Just saying.
So yeah, so Aurelia's helping out.
Yep.
Ask her, have you settled down okay here?
As well as I could have, I suppose.
I can understand that.
How are things looking on the outside?
Well, there is going to be a party.
So I hear.
Just underhanded chuckles all throughout the house.
Like,
There's gonna be
Jimena
a
is
party.
still asleep, and even she's like,
Everybody's just like,
Parties.
yeah, Amanda's doing it in their sleep.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, the party is not just a party.
I surmised the northern gentlemen are not exactly subtle about it.
No, I wouldn't think they would be.
Got lost.
She pauses a little bit, and she's working with Ricardo, and they're fucking tightening the tops on these jars of
Jenny's
Gems
not allowed
and
to do
preserves.
it anymore because she's smashed like 4 of them
yeah.
because she over tightens them.
It's like we don't have infinite jars, so we're gonna need to. You're gonna need to delegate that to us. Yeah, she pauses for a bit, and then she looks at you as she leans over the table and says, "Will you need help?"
Well, more help is always better.
I think I'm ready.
Oh, then I welcome you.
I
What part of the dog is this?
The butt.
Okay.
It's all
Because
but.
I'm staring at the. Yeah, it's mostly butt. So it was like a 2 out of 3 chance.
Outside the tip of the nose, it's all but. Yeah, she says, I plied my trade. Not really for the right people nor reasons. I'm ready to do the same for a cause that is just.
Because now me, the player, needs to remember, why are we doing all this again?
So we're having a party to draw out people who might try to assassinate.
because
Um,
we're trying to reestablish Governor Perez.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
While also trying to get rid of all the people that we don't
The
like.
original
Yeah.
idea was the rah-rah Governor
Yeah.
Perez.
Yeah, we're trying to be like, he's the greatest. Everyone trust him.
Yes, I remember that. But I don't know how it turned into, we're definitely murdering people.
Well, because
Well,
there's
because they're gonna be there.
because people have like it's been like said around town that someone is planning to off Governor
okay,
Perez.
okay.
Because Isak
Thank you for that
found
reminder.
Yeah.
I write these notes, but
Yeah,
I
Isak
can't read them.
found
Yeah, right.
documents sort of
Yeah.
indicating that there's some sort of a plot.
Our
You
little
don't know
Romeo.
how serious it is. You don't. Many of the people that were building the stage were like,
Yeah.
like, people make threats all the time, whatever. Like they're not taking it that seriously.
And we're
So you
like,
have-
no, we fucking know.
You have no clue whether it's an organized effort, some
Some people just running
Some
their
whack
mouth.
job.
some whack job trying to ride the glory, or something more sinister. You have no clue.
Hmm.
But The threat is there.
I don't know if I just like hit the dog or the
No.
dog just hit herself in my foot.
Yeah,
I don't
knows?
No, she's into it.
Something
She
happened.
likes it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We established our love of feet. So
Well, there may not be killing, but there probably will be.
Maybe.
from across the room, like you clearly see Magnus, who has like 2 different fruit, both of them with a bite in it, like in each hand.
No, they basically have like a radar for this.
And Magnus has like pieces of fruit and like peel and all over his beard because he's clearly not doing this fruit thing right. Sometimes even Rethel is like, bro, that's you gotta cut that one, right? He's not,
I see
right?
what you're doing there.
But he looks at Aurelia as you tell her like there may not be any killing, and he's sort of like,
You can lie to yourself all you want.
and
You might not kill anybody, but I'm gonna kill so many people.
she sort of chuckles and says like, yeah, this is what I mean.
Well, yes.
He's been like this.
But yes, as long as you are armed, you'll be fine, I think.
You tell me where you want me, and I will take care of whatever you need.
So do we actually know what the how is this day arranged? Evening, I guess.
There's some plans.
Have we not talked about that yet?
We didn't plan the party. We just said there should be one.
No,
Yeah.
well, I mean we kind of.
I totally would love to go out there and just mess things up before the party starts to basically disrupt any.
But we need to
People
have the whole
planning
point
it?
is that we need to
No,
have
no,
the
no.
party.
The party's gonna happen, but if we
Okay.
go in there and just like start helping, might disrupt someone doing early planning, and then leave for a while, let them figure it back out again, and then come back in at the beginning.
Well, it was Jenny and Ricardo were told basically you're just gonna flank the governor. So
Yeah, they're.
And also, like, Aurelia is fairly known already, so I can't really use her for something.
and I
that's
can't
gonna
bring
be very
Olivia out either.
visible.
They got big targets
Yeah.
on their back, so if they're
She
helping,
definitely would have to be somewhere less conspicuous.
right?
We could always dye her hair.
Oh God.
Less conspicuous.
Hey, Jimena has gotten much better.
How
Yes.
do you feel like?
But that's not
makeovers?
Jimena has figured it out.
No,
Okay.
but it's less likely to be a shitty hack job.
It's more likely to be a color that hair is.
It's more likely to be natural looking.
Okay.
Let's look like an open flame. Yeah, so you would know from having talked to Perez and Landreville that there's sort of there's gonna be some musicians there, and they're gonna do like a formal welcome back for Perez. He's gonna say a few words to his people, right? The Cardinal is supposed to be there as well to welcome him officially
Mhm.
back to the city.
That lady.
So is Inquisitor Mazabi, right? Because there is
Something going on there.
there is no Inquisition
Yeah.
in Liso officially, right? So he's technically the only Inquisitor in town right now. So he's there as a representative of the Inquisition. So yeah, like that's sort of the plan, and then they budgeted some time near the end for a visual show from Jimena.
So I guess what I will tell Aurelia is, so my idea is that she's very well practiced in just being a socialite basically. So just going around being conversational, I'll let her decide for herself what her story is, because obviously something went down before her boss. She disappeared for a while, like let her craft that story, but also, basically, just I guess getting a feel for what people are thinking about Perez.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. You see her like commit the stuff to memory as she's working on those jars of preserves.
And I tell her
then-
that we're specifically looking for someone that is after's life, but not to tip anyone off. We'll have ways to communicate. Probably just speaking to a shadow. That's what we usually do.
Yeah.
She sort of arches an eyebrow at that, but doesn't stop working.
And then Yvonne says, "Why?"
Evine just steps out of the hearth.
How'd you know?
Don't knock over the cup.
Finally waking up Jimena. You're like, yep.
I'm here. I'm here this whole time.
It's like, oh, you mean? You're here.
I'm always here.
And yet, never here.
You hear Zhenya scoff.
Right. Yeah,
Like, she keeps popping up in my bedroom.
you see, as Evine says, like,
Ricardo.
yeah, as Evine says, like, I'm always here, like, Ricardo is, like, tightening a jar of preserves, and he looks at Genia, like,
It's true. I thought I was getting sewn up, and then apparently it was an audience participation.
that
moment.
was the conversation. It was like, hey, Evine,
Yeah.
I gotta take my clothes off, so...
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, you kind of just have to trust that she's not there anymore, because it's not like we can really tell.
It's true. Just the honesty system here.
That's right. she's on rewarding. Yeah.
And then
Um,
clutches her good Vatican girl pearls.
That's right.
That she stole.
Right.
Hey, they're a good Gavadicine girl's pearls. We never said whose pearls they were.
That's right. That's right.
I thought that was sufficient. That they were at least.
That's how it works, right?
Right?
If they're owned by somebody pious,
They're like relics. You know, you get the finger of the saint. You're not the saint. Come on.
it
that's
rubs
dumb.
up on you, right?
Yeah. I'm proud of that one.
Yeah. It's full of holy mojo.
Yeah, it's the next best thing.
So yeah, so that's sort of the plan for today. You know that there's going to be security checkpoints. You know that the Winter Sun is going to make an appearance, even though they're not supposed to run the show. Out of it was very particular that the guard will be handling security and the protection of Governor Perez. But this is a big
Certain
event.
Parties.
So the Winter Sun are going to show up.
And they're
And
gaudy outfits.
Lady Rafaela herself is also supposed to make an appearance. Because now big wigs are drifting to this thing. When the word first came around that they were doing something for Perez, it was met with a little bit of scoffs and indifference, but in the few days it's picked up so much momentum at this point that people have to be there, including nobility,
It's a party.
um,
It's a big party.
which is
You don't show up. Oh.
Right?
Everybody's gonna be there.
which accounts for a lot of the nobles you were seeing at the governor mansion the day prior, even though
And
none of
then-
them were really wanting to give
and then it's
Perez
just
the
at
time of
cost.
day. Just a week
So
past.
5 XP
Right?
for a 5-point event.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's sort of how everything is laid out. Now I will leave it to the crew to figure out what's your approach to this party. Where do you want to go? How do you want to approach this?
I do kind of like Tony's idea of like showing up earlier while things are still getting set up, and that way like we can make our presence known to everybody who, you know, might be up to shady shit, because we know that somebody's up to shady shit somewhere. and maybe we'll catch them before they do anything. But then I do think we should fuck off for a little and then come back when the party actually starts. Don't know what we would do in them.
Well, I have at least one person I need to find.
Well, Jimena needs to get all her fireworks set up anyway, so
That's
she
right.
has to go early.
You need to go and deliver that over
Because
there.
I'm the only one who can do it.
That's
no
right.
one can touch them but me.
None of the other artificers, like the a lot of it even suggested it at some point. It's like, oh, we can have other people help you. You're like, no, like this is very specific.
Jenny's gonna bring out a cloak for Ricardo and ask if he wants to take a walk and survey the area really quick.
Yes, absolutely.
And then she becomes a crow and sits on his shoulder.
Aww.
So cute.
Well, she'll get an aerial view while
Yep.
he sees the down.
And he says, as he reaches out to sort of
Oh.
with a finger, like just pet the crow, like he says, you tell me when you want me to turn. I know you can't speak like this, but I will understand you.
She actually, because crows can, or
Yeah.
ravens, she croaks out in his voice, "Turn."
He pauses and he's like, yeah, I deserve this. I feel ashamed. I should have known this.
Yeah.
Do you hold up one little talon for left and the other for right to turn?
Just
Turn.
the one way.
the wing, yeah.
Whoosh.
Except when you smack him in the face.
Mhm.
Right. Okay, I'll turn. Yeah.
So yeah,
Just you on his shoulder and the feathers touching his cheeks, like the wings just.
I don't know how to feel about this. Like, sometimes I'm like, this is cool, and other times I'm like, I don't know about this.
you're like, I know it's you, but my brain still sees what I see.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
So, I think at least until we're gonna go on site, I think the first thing I want to do is go to Hector's place. I think I need to go there and try to get a trace because
Okay.
I want to figure out where he is.
All right. So you're doing this. Where are you going to patrol?
Just kind of the grounds where, like,
So you're going to the site.
yeah, to the
Okay.
side and walking about, seeing, like, who's lingering, where are good hidey holes.
Okay, perfect.
Where am I going to be looking when I'm looking for things?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a crew, looks like, that will go ahead. Jimena will also go and drop off the fireworks and sort of check on the prep. I think Rethold's interested in doing that too.
Yeah.
Evine, did you want to go to the grounds as well? Do you have something else you're going to try to check on?
Yes. Similar hidey holes and angles and
Ah, perfect. You're gonna look.
shadow.
You're gonna look for a good sniper's nest, which will also give a dual purpose of finding a good spot for you and sort of scouting for good sniping spots in case somebody else is up to no good.
Yeesh.
Perfect.
Thank
Okay.
you, Sean Connery.
So you're going, Marilena, to Hector's place.
Yes.
You remember the way there, so you can get there fairly quickly. Do you go alone? Do you bring anybody with you?
I mean, who would I have to bring with me at this point?
Aurelia's sort of at your beck and call at this point, so
All right. Well, if she's done with what she's doing, I'll tell her. Get yourself geared up. We're gonna go and find somebody. Maybe a couple of someone's.
all right. When you arrive to Hector's place, the door to his house is locked. There seems to be no light inside.
Alright. Look at Aurelia. How are you with looks?
Yeah.
She, without really saying a word. She basically pulls something out of her hair and kneels in front of the door. And after a couple moments, you hear a click and the door sort of opens, and she says, "All right, I suppose."
I can see that. I step in. I guess if it's not quite light enough yet, I'll find some sort of light source. Like
Yeah, it's
light
dark in
lantern.
here. It still smells really like, you know, when somebody doesn't go out enough. It has like that rank smell inside.
I think before I'm even gonna do the trace, what I want to do is basically like an empathy type role to just get a feel for this room and figure out how did he spend his day, like before he left. What were the actions he went through? I'm trying to get an idea of what his mindset was and what sort of things he brought with him. Well, I saw some of that, but I mean, you know, I'm trying to figure out where he would have gone with those weapons, basically.
Sure. Yeah, if you do just like a quick check before you roll, you notice that your vision seems pretty accurate because you find the little chest on the mantle. It is empty. It clearly holds a couple pistols normally.
Right.
The sword is also gone from the spot where you saw it, so you're pretty sure your vision was accurate and came to pass. So roll me empathy. While you roll that, the rest of you arrive at the site. It is bustling. It's busy. The courtyard has been barricaded. You see people with the uniform of the Liso Guard sort of running security checkpoints. Checking people's credentials, right? Like as they're coming in. There's sort of a pat for weaponry. Again, you all being yourselves, what the gate guards do stop you because not all of them know you by face, but the moment they verify, you know, this is who we are, like we're you know, be participating in this thing, like they running up the flagpole and you get waved in almost immediately.
Don't you know who I am?
Well, it just reminds me of that part in like every anime where like there's the person that like the guard's like, no, you can't pass, and someone else comes up being like, no, oh my god, no, you're fine, come on.
Yep.
Like, don't you know? Like, well, we're supposed to, we're just doing our job.
Yep.
Genya caws really loud in their face.
Yeah.
Sir,
The-
your bird is.
The soldier that stopped you, like, looked like he's
That's not my
about
bird.
to give an apology, right? Like for stopping you,
There it
and
goes.
Ricardo with the
It's-
bird on his shoulder is sort of like
decided
he
to
stops
escape.
him before he
Thank
can
you.
apologize, and he's like, "You're good. Keep up the good work. You got it. Just remember
Appreciate
these faces. This may
Thank
not
you
be
very
the
much.
only time we come in and out today. So just
Jimena gives a
commit it to memory. Shouldn't be too hard." And he sort of looks around.
Man with a bird.
Yeah, just a little.
You see
Is
that the
that? No, it's the Cornelius Apple.
Oh my god.
Hey, New York. It's
the
real
soldier-
Ricardo and his bird.
Wow.
Ollie.
Murder.
I was gonna say Genya, but I'm like,
Can I use this?
Yes, you can.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Ricardo is like closest to this guard, and who's also Castilian.
Yeah.
The kiss did something to him, obviously, because now he looks back to Ricardo, right? Like he's like, I'm not sure I want to meet the gaze of this other man. This may do something to me. This may awaken something in
Hope
me,
this doesn't awaken anything inside me.
and I'm too busy today to deal with this. So
maybe later. Come back.
So he turns to Ricardo and he's like, I could have sworn there was somebody else with you when you arrived. And Ricardo's like, no, just us.
Why would you ever think that?
Oh, we're all here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, that's.
Yeah, we're here.
That's just us.
Yeah.
Well, also he caught a glimpse of Evine at some point.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
Evine anymore.
Yep.
Nope.
Evine, roll me a finesse, and roll me stealth.
I got
Okay.
The rest of you are sort of escorted to where the stage is being set. The moment you come inside, like you realize, like crowd is gathering, and there's a good mix of people too. Like there's common folks. In at the door, there's nobility, although there's very little mingling between the two of them. Like the nobles are sort of in the shade, right? Like under parasols and not out in the sun, right? Like, and there's commiserating happening as to what kind of event this is, right? Yeah, because the plebs are here too in mass. Among the common folks, the mood is great. Like it feels festive, right? Like it feels like a fucking festival out there. They're eating street food. Like people are, like they're happy in a way that is way more genuine, at least that you've observed since you've come to
Yeah.
Liso. They're openly celebrating. You notice that a few of them like are sporting like shiners and look a little battered even. So it's kind of an odd juxtaposition. But you get brought to the stage. You see the musicians are setting up. There's sort of a side station that got set aside specifically for your fireworks, Jimena, with like a safety perimeter because the way you described it, you realize probably put some fear into people. They're like, we're not sure what to expect. So yeah, you're again one of the high walls, right? Because you're in almost like an inside courtyard.
Jimena has like a cart. that She's like a radio flyer that she's like pulling behind her with all her fireworks in it.
Nice.
Like
It's one of those with the handles.
a children's wagon.
Got a 9.
9?
Yes.
Perfect. If you want to roll me a wits notice, Genia, as well, as you and Ricardo are going to patrol the ground. Immediately apparent is the big presence of Winter Sun in here. They're not at the security gates. They're not securing, the stage and the VIPs and anybody coming up.
Couple of tens.
There's a vibe that they're clearly miffed at this, right? That they're not in charge.
Like they're here, but they're not really doing
Yeah,
anything.
they're
just
here and
being-
they're sort of making up for it by running like inside security, right? Like they're randomly checking people and they're basically just like
local smokies, huh?
yeah, they're kind of patrolling, right? Like they're sort of like respect my authority, right? Even
Yeah.
though they're not officially here.
Yeah, well, we don't have to because you don't have any.
Right.
That would be a.
Well, that's why we're here.
6
Yep.
for Zhenya.
Okay. Genia, you observe some of that from above, right? Like you clearly see from above, it's even more apparent how the crowd is segregated,
Yeah.
right? There's all the common folks sort of taking a lot of space. There's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just there and having fun. Like
That's
the
what I wanna
nobles are sort of huddled together, like they're watching the stage. They're, it's almost like they don't want to be fully seen having fun, except for a few of them who seem to be completely enjoying that. You see a couple of middle-aged nobles, and the gentleman is sitting down on a little makeshift bench at this point. He pulled a guitar out.
Yes.
He's playing and he's singing, and the lady accompanying him is just dancing with a flourish there, and they look like they're having fun. Like some of the common folks are starting to gather in that area too, right? And they're way more rowdy, right? Like the nobles, you see them shaking their head at that, because the common folks are just like yipping and sort of participating in there. And before long, like there's hand clapping for percussion, right?
Oh, I love it.
It's a good time.
This is why I do this. 100%.
But a lot of the other nobles are sort of like,
Mm-hmm.
even
They
though,
know
Such
they
a
can,
trash.
we can eat them first.
yeah.
Yeah.
From your literal bird's eye view, you can tell that some of them do look like they want to join in, right? They
But
just
they
don't
can't
feel
be
like it's
seen,
proper, right? Like
yeah.
they're just like, this looks like fun. Remember when you used to have fun,
We'll eat them
Do
second.
you remember fun?
right?
Y'all remember fun?
Yeah.
It was
So-
a thing we used to have when I was a child.
There's a few who sort of follow the example of that couple and start to come in and join in and mingle a little bit more, right? But by and large, like you can see the delineation. You also see the winter sun clear as day.
Yep.
You see that there's a lot of whispers among themselves, like they're sort of looking at the ground, like they're not working, but they're working, right? You're not
Mhm.
exactly sure what. You see them like talk to some of the commoners here and there. You see some of those conversations are not very well received. Like you perceive some tensions in some of them. Like even the common folks are kind of like, "You're not my dad," right? Like
Yeah.
they're sort of like, "I'm here to have fun. Just leave
It's
me
a
be."
party. Fuck off.
Some of them are
Right.
definitely more subdued. Some of them
Really harsh in
seem
my mellow breaths.
right. Some of them seem like they're taking,
The Winter Suns are just being enemies of fun, apparently.
well, basically, they're butthurt, and they want everybody else to be butthurt like them.
Word keeps wanting me to type Winter Olympics, by the way.
Winter Olympics.
Just all the time.
You do notice that some of the commoners like have conversations with them that do seem pretty neutral, and you see them scurry off after they have those conversations. So you sort of make a mental note of that, like who's doing that, where they're going,
Yep.
that sort of a deal.
Every single one of them. Headlock. Disappeared.
By the end of the party, there's like three. There's like three.
Yeah, it's
Winter
like,
Suns.
oh, we're playing White Wolf. All right.
I
Which
ate
one of
them
you
all.
is the werewolf?
Yeah.
Oh no, I know who it is because I ate them, and now I have
Yep.
animal kin suddenly.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
All right.
White Wolf because there's only 3 who are mortal.
Oh, that's right. That's
Mm.
fair.
that's why there's only 3 left.
That's
Everyone
fair.
else is- yeah.
And that's why there's a high risk of diablerie or drinking some other weird blood.
Hell yeah, life's a buffet. Let's go.
Jimena,
Unlike
you're
some of
assigned an older lady, an alchemista, who is
Oh.
experienced, but makes it clear to you the moment you meet her. Like she's got like marks of burns like all over herself too. She's got her own kit, and she sort of has like one thumb in her belt as you come in.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say she only has one thumb.
Yeah.
There's one thumb left. That lady has lived.
She's got one of those where it's like it's separated at the knuckles, so it's just like the stub thumb.
Right.
I don't have one of those.
She, when you come in, she
I see,
sort
like
of
3 of those.
no nonsense, like extends a hand to you and says, "Imelda, I've been assigned to you, but rest assured, I'm here to stay out of your way."
That's good. I wouldn't want to put you in danger.
She sort of snores at that. Is like, "Well, I might like it." So
Okay then.
she says, "Like, I'm just here as your backup. You tell me what you need, but the boss man made it clear, don't step in her way, so I won't."
Well, but it's probably for the best. Mostly because, I don't want you to accidentally explode.
She just starts laughing the moment you say that, and she's like, "Oh, this party's getting better and better." And she looks at your cart, and you get like a low whistle from her as she watches the canisters.
Is this why she only has one thumb?
Oh, is this the headcanon now? This
Yeah.
lady definitely just has one.
I don't
Has
think she
she-
has any fingers. She
has she
only
dabbled?
has a thumb.
That's right.
Wow.
Just the thumb.
Well,
That's
you
where
don't need
my
the other
brain
fingers.
went.
You just
Well,
use
no.
the thumb to push against the pad
Right.
of the hand.
Yeah, we got this.
She has no
Wow.
finger, just the one thumb, and it's grafted here.
So it looks like a constant middle finger.
No, don't do it.
No, it's grafted here at the bottom of the palm. So it's just.
I don't like it.
Oh no.
I mean,
She
got
has
lucky.
fingers.
No, she
Damn
does.
it.
She has fingers.
It's not your character though. It's mine.
No.
It's adjacent.
Yeah, no.
Jason, leave
No, no.
me alone.
No, no.
I'm the one without fingers. No, damn it.
She has all her fingers because, like Jimena, she's
She
a
usually throws
competent.
She usually throws it before it
Alchemist.
explodes.
Her hair is who knows what color.
Well, yeah, she does have a lot of burn marks on her, so she's
Yes.
had close calls. But
Like, yeah, Jimena's like, I don't want you to explode, but on that note, I need you to help me position these.
you got it. You tell me where. And she sort of rolls in and helps you set up.
Whatever you
your
do, do
whisper.
not drop them.
I'm sorry. I'm editing something. But how do we trust her? Other than she obviously has all of her fingers.
Well, Landreville assigned her to be
Oh, okay.
to be
Landreville assigned her specifically, and
I'm
she's
not
an
there.
outfit.
to be Jimena. To
Because
be
if
Jimena's.
Landreville betrays us, then that's fucking awesome. Not even gonna be mad at that point. Talk about a
Also,
long
she's
play.
only helping me set up the fireworks.
I'd
No,
be
sure, but I'm
mad.
like- but I'm like,
And then Zhenya pops up and goes, I knew it!
Aww.
Fucking Montaigne.
No,
yeah. No, yeah, but
Don't
still.
break up the gay couple.
Explosives.
right?
Oh no, there's evil gay people.
Well, I know that, but don't break up this gay couple.
We can have other evil gay
Yes,
people, just
yes.
not,
That's right.
Not these ones.
No, these ones are sacred.
Nothing
Don't
bad
say
can
that in
happen.
front of a DM because now he's got to kill them.
As long as they die together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Holding
alright.
hands.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It can be tragic and we'll cry.
Then
Well,
well, you're gonna
people
cry
continue
anyway,
to play
but
the
at least
violin as the boat sinks.
that's right.
Yeah.
Right?
Thrown up in bed.
No. If I do that, if I separate them
Again.
through death, Lisa may never speak to me again. So,
Can't have this.
She'll
So,
die
yeah.
just so she could come back to life and haunt you. Basically.
No, you go. Within one hand, I hold this wonderful couple, and then the other, I hold Ricardo.
Oh, don't be doing Sophie's
That is-
choice on her.
the noise.
Sorry, Perez.
That's harsh.
The
Oh
noise.
yeah, like there was a choice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like they gonna die.
Sorry, Perez.
Yeah.
I have to
Um,
kill Hunterville now.
That's right.
I know what I need. I don't need them. That's for damn sure.
Damn. Okay, but no, I get it.
If you'd like to go down together, I understand.
Yes.
I'm respecting your choice.
All right. You got how many
11.
successes? 11.
11.
Sorry.
11. A Lebanese bond.
Hector spent the last moments in this hovel carefully planning, meticulously preparing. You see him, tend to his sword, tend to his pistols, making sure everything is in working order. You see him pull a medal around his neck. You get that distinct image. The image is clear enough that you can see it's a holy image on that medal. Not one of the prophets, but there's an image emblazoned on it with the Thean cross, probably a saint or other. And he's whispering to himself as he's doing it, almost like he's trying to steal his resolve. But you feel a singular sense of purpose as he's making these preparations. And as he looks into the hovel one last time before crossing the threshold, you get the distinct impression that he's looking at it through the eyes of someone who will never be back into this house again.
Yep. He's going somewhere to kill someone. Can I feel who he's killing, or should I trace it?
He's going into, I'm gonna say with your 11 roll, you can work your trace through this.
Okay.
It's weird because even your read through fate is blurry, almost like as if he really, almost by sheer force of will, doesn't want to be found until he completes his task. The strength of his purpose is almost blurring you, but you can tell he's going into the arts and university district.
That makes sense.
He's gonna go kill the people that killed his wife.
And he's gonna use the party to go after the professor.
He's actually not going into the same direction.
What do you mean?
He's not going where the party is.
No, I mean he's not going to the party. He's going over there
Oh, sure.
while the party's happening.
Sure.
But
Hell
I
yeah.
want to eat the professor. The professore. Whatever his fucking name is.
I'm not sure what I should do with that info. I am aware that Jenny wants to eat that though.
Well,
You'll-
Literally.
yes. I mean, she does actually literally eat people when she's a bear. But Jenny needs to free all of Olivia's sisters, quote quote. And that's who's keeping them.
Because you got a high roll, I will tell you, you don't feel necessarily a sense of urgency. This is not something that's happening that is rushed or
So
this is meticulous.
You mean wait? So I don't think it's going to happen today, or he planned it well in advance and it will happen today.
You can't be sure of either of those things from your read, but you don't feel an immediate sense of urgency when you read his path.
Okay, so my interpretation is then going to be, I know where he's going, but I have a different fate to focus on today. Whatever happens to him today is what happens.
If you
But I will help him if we get out of this and he's still alive.
Did you forget to plug your thing in, and did it
That's
die?
more or less what I would.
have to turn on the bells.
if you think
Oh,
I think. Wait, the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you
the,
getting
the
juice?
ding
That's
of
what
low
I'm checking.
battery.
no, I'm not getting juice.
If you either vocalize or even like think these things, like you're unpacking this in your head,
Oh,
this feels right to you.
I mean, I'm mostly thinking right now, so really it's probably like. you know,
tech support.
I'm
Okay.
kind of just spacing out for
Yeah.
a bit here.
Just
Aurelia
watch
is
me do
mostly
being
staying out of your way, but she's sort
like
of
we do
looking
this for a
around the
living.
Yeah, I
hovel
know, right?
and sort of
Is
mentally making notes of
There's
things.
one thing I'm wondering I can do, and I've never tried this before, and I don't necessarily want to do like a whole one, but can I just like slightly nudge things in his favor from afar? Is that a thing I can do?
You can try.
No, I'm gonna have to take. I would have to take a lash for that.
Yep,
It'd be worth it though.
you will have to.
Hero point 2.
Hero point as well.
Okay.
Snap.
As you're getting ready to do that, Aurelia steps back to you and says, "There's nothing left here of any value or emotional attachment. I can't find portraits, I can't find jewelry, I can't find any money of any kind. This is the husk of a of a residence.
Yes, you are correct. The person who lived here will not be returning. He has a greater purpose that may be his end, but maybe not. This place, though, is no longer part of his fate.
The fireplace is cold, so he probably left sometime during the night at the latest. There are a lot of ashes that looks like papers or something akin to it have been burned here.
That makes sense. Well, we've seen all that we can see here for now. I have one more place to check, maybe. So, yeah, go back out. Can you lock a door from the outside?
I mean,
If you
Without
have
the key?
Oh.
yeah. Well,
There's nothing really left here.
No, it's more that. How can I say this? It is out of respect, because that was how he left it.
I can try. Yeah, as she busies herself with that, are you attempting your blessing, more or less?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay. Take your lash. Take your hero point. You start to follow.
It'd be +5 for him.
Yeah. This is kind of hazy. Again, it's hard to figure out where he's going. But again, you get the distinct impression that this is a man not rushed.
He's gonna do it right.
There is...
I just want to make sure that when he comes to whatever he's gonna do, he'll be able to do it. And that's the purpose for which I lend my aid.
All right.
Also, can I get a hero point back because I committed to a dangerous action?
Yes,
Yes.
you did. Your lash.
Yeah.
Get it.
Evine,
It's mid-o'clock.
you scout the place pretty much unhindered. The guards are busy elsewhere. You do notice that the Winter Sun's patrols take them under the arches quite a bit. They patrol the perimeter quite a lot, which again they have no duty here, so that does seem like something that's a little not necessarily peculiar, but something to keep, in mind. You do notice the same things that Zhenya noticed, is that sometimes, periodically, like they seem like almost to harass some of the commoners, but sometimes they seem like they have like purposeful conversations. Like they're asking something, like there's information being exchanged,
Fucking take him out.
and you see like the commoners and the Winter Sun sort of parting ways, like in different directions.
Sorry,
like,
just like obnoxiously loud water pouring.
just the loudest, the loudest pee.
Shake more than 3 times. You're playing with yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she didn't flush.
Yeah.
Gross.
You shake more than 3 times, you move from hygiene to self-pleasure.
That's right.
I feel
Um,
that is a role, indeed.
It is. Past that, you manage to get above, and like I said, like this is an open courtyard, but there's enough high buildings and walls in there, like it's fairly defensible.
Yeah.
It can be locked down in a pinch, which makes sense as to why they would have picked this location, because basically like the entry points into the courtyard can be closed and create an immediate chokehold, right, if you need to. So, the other piece of it, though, is that just even without trying, you can identify almost half a dozen good sniping spots, like from the rooftops, from above. Access up here is restricted, right? But you managed to sneak up there. I know you're really good, but you're like, you know, you don't need to be Evine levels necessarily, right? Like to be able to make it up here. Especially if you make it through checkpoints legit, right? So, out of curiosity, you sort of look around just to see if you can find some concealed weaponry. Because, you know, people are getting patted when they enter, but hey, maybe they could leave weapons on the grounds, right? You don't really find anything, but yeah, there's enough perches and spots that you would pick as some good spots for sniping, that you're like, yeah, I better keep an eye on this because, you know, people could occupy any of these. You do find what you feel is the best spot, though, which is basically in one of the building's bell towers. You basically have to scoot under the heavy bell, right? Like to get to your point. But once you're there, you can see the entire courtyard.
Just have him, Zhenya shit all over it.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before. I've marked
There you
things.
Right?
This is true.
Um,
This is true.
So you're like, if I'm picking a spot, this is mine. This spot is great, right? Like there's space once you squeeze past the bell. Like you can basically like lean a little bit over the arch. When the party begins, the sun is going to be just in the right place, right? That is going to create some natural shadow where you are, to sort of conceal you, and you can get a great view of the stage. The one drawback is that a lot of the VIPs right now are staying in the building behind the stage, right? Like, which is sort of a reinforced kind of gatehouse, and you can see through a few of the windows and doors there, but your visibility inside that building is more limited. But hey, that can be where folks on the ground can patrol, right? So if they check the building, you got basically everything else covered. Plus, if somebody has the same idea as you and chooses this as their sniper perch, you're gonna be here first. So, yeah.
Disguised under all the poop.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Rethold, are you looking into anything in particular?
No, I guess I'm just keeping an eye out. Because yeah, I don't know. Rethold's a big dumb ox.
Wow.
Tony plays him way smarter than he should.
He's also an entrepreneur, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, if I've learned anything about businessmen and money, you don't need much brains to social commentary.
It's all right. I
True.
filled it in my head already.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Capitalism.
I'm like, I don't even gotta say the jokes anymore. They're boring. It's just exhausting because I'm a poor. And I can't find the other one of these dice. What the fuck? It's fine. Yeah, let me bust out a wits plus warfare.
Oh, sure.
Because I got some points in that. I am. you keep mentioning the Winter Sun talking to random
Yeah.
citizens who are like, hey, you know, and then walking away, and I'm like, motherfuckers. I mean, I know that like everyone in Liso is you know, there's nothing wrong in Liso, but this is too many fucking people, and. Is there anyone, like... There's no one really near me to keep me under control, is there?
No.
Yeah, we all fucked off.
to do different
Hell
things.
yeah!
I mean, I can see you, but
Yeah.
I don't usually curve
And Ricardo's patrolling the grounds
you. Yeah.
at
Yeah, it's
Jenna's
basically
behest.
it's you and Magnus versus the
Magnus
city.
stayed at the
It's
house.
it's
for
not
now.
too
so
often
it's
that I
just
stop you.
Rethold.
Oh, Magnus not here yet?
Yeah, Magnus is not even there to be devil on the
He
shoulder.
had to go find
That's
another
just-
dress because we all
Yeah.
agreed that we couldn't all wear the same thing.
I mean, I could have made him one if you told me earlier.
Well,
It's
no,
late
you,
now.
well, you, we all begrudgingly admitted that you looked the best in it, even if we were killing it. So he had to go find something else, and as I was like, I guess I'll just wear what I wore for the wedding, and so it's fine. Going single anyway. What's it?
Stag.
Stag.
Yeah, I was like, is it still going stag when you're a lady? 1, 2, 3,
Hen?
4. 1, 2,
What?
3,
Sorry, I wasn't.
Because it's a hen do. A
going
hen
doe?
party. If you're going single as a woman, it's a hen. I think instead of
it?
stag.
I don't think so.
I've only ever heard
The opposite
stag.
of stag would be
Yes, I understand,
Right.
but like when you're going, like in England, if you're going on a bachelor party, it's a stag night because it's
Mhm.
boys, and if it's a girls thing, it's bachorette. It's a hen party.
Yeah,
like a hen
because a
do.
group of girls together just sounds like babbling chickens.
Yeah.
It's not sexist at all.
whereas a bunch of
Negative.
dudes
You
dudes
know.
together does sound like just the lowing of dumb animals in the forest. So yeah, no, okay, this tracks. all right, I'm here for this. All right.
With their horns.
I mean,
Yeah, it's very.
hen party just means an exclusively female party. But that's not the same, really.
Re-roll single die, so I can
Hmm.
re-roll those.
So what's a female stag? It's a doe? A doe party? It doesn't sound as good.
Well, we're not trying
I
to
mean,
figure
it
out.
sounds
the,
kind of tasty.
we're not
if
trying to
you
figure out
ask
what
me,
the
but-
party is. We're trying to figure out like if you go to the wedding alone as a girl, is it still I'm going stag?
I always just hear people say they're going stag, whether they're male or
Are you
female.
fucking kidding me?
I mean, technically, it would be no, because stags are specifically male deer.
Yeah.
but
It's fine.
I think at this point, in that context, I think it's just a blanket term.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an equivalent. Some people did say going hen, but
Yeah.
Because we're nerds and because the
We have to
internet
know.
is listening,
Yeah.
we gotta resolve it.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, someone was
This
gonna
is-
open Google. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah. The official definition says going unaccompanied by a person of the opposite sex to a social event. Although this term originally applied only to men attending an event without a woman companion, it is now applied to both genders as well.
Sure.
There
All right,
we go.
internet. So wits plus warfare.
Yeah.
No modifiers or anything funny. Just
Yep.
I actually managed to pull out 6 on that one,
Okay.
so that was nice. So I'm at least aware of that stuff. Do I pick up anything? Because yeah, I would just be tankarding around, picking up, double fisting,
Right.
and then passing it to people, and then passing it to because I'm like, hey, if I
Right.
either we're making our allies feisty or we're making our enemies lowering their cognizant abilities. So
Sure.
why not?
Sure.
Even the Winter Sun, if I see one there, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
They sort of they sort of have to join in, but
Oh no, I'll be like, hey, you're not on duty here. Have a drink.
correct.
I'm gonna kill you.
We're gonna kill you.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. I was like, this is my cousin Nick. This is my cousin Nikki.
Nick.
Yeah.
That's not Stammer. That's my name. Yeah, the thing that is immediately apparent to you is that as a military unit, they're off duty, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not exactly sure if it's because they know something is going down or
Yeah.
because they hope something is going down.
Sure.
And this group will fuck up and they'll have to come in and clean up the mess, right?
Sure.
But this is not just random maneuvers. Like they're clearly
Taking up
preparing
position in places.
for shit going down at this party.
Okay.
Right.
First of 2 things I want to do while I'm there. Who's the major domo? Who's the person who's like in charge of this? Who's not? Is it Laundreville or is it like someone he's appointed?
Well, at this point,
Yeah.
Lauderdale being a control freak and
Okay.
thinking everybody else is out to murder Carlos, has fully taken charge here. Everything that needs to be done has to go through him.
Absolutely, great. So I pick up another 2 tankards, as close to him as I can find, and I turn straight to him, and I'm like, "Hey!" Like I've been doing this whole time,
Right.
and I'm like, "I don't know about you, but maybe we should put some stuff in the way of those idiots taking up positions all over, like some carts or something."
He sort of, there's like 2 people while you're trying to talk to him. There's 2 people that are like in panic mode.
No, there's not, because I just smile at them, and if I need to use stare down, it's happening.
You're good because
Yeah.
Ladroville is actually 100% like with his good hand, just like
Oh yeah.
pause button on this and
Yeah.
gives you full attention, and then he says, "It will be done." Any specific spots that we should focus on first?
With the 6, I'm sure I have a couple recommendations to
Yeah.
help mitigate this.
You do, and then
So yeah, I'm like, like an elote cart right there in the middle of those idiots,
yep.
and yeah,
And then he says, "We'll also be on the lookout and block more as they come." And he sort of nods, and you even get like a pat as he passes by and gives you like a.
yeah. No, I give the cheers.
And he immediately, as he's past you, like these 2 other folks that were waiting there are just there, and they're frozen in place
I sort of like break them.
because they don't follow. Because
Yeah.
Ladroville gets past you, and then he immediately yells,
Yeah.
"Pedro, over here!"
Yeah.
Immediately.
I look over at the other 2, and I'm like, and I just hand the tankard to the one farthest, like across, and I'm like, "You're doing great." He's very intense, I know. You know,
Yes.
he's got a lot in his hands.
This
Well-
lady looks like she's on the verge of tears.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. I was like,
She's in the middle of this big event, and then she's got shit coming down, and
oh
she,
no, yeah. I was like, he can use every hand he can get.
the gentleman like gives you like a.
And I'm like,
That's all it is.
and I chuckle. I'm like, he might have told me that one himself, but we don't joke around a lot, so it's we'll see. Who knows?
So yeah, before long, there's carts, just random spots of supplies. Like the guard are setting up shop in awkward spots, right?
Like fucking anti-tank
Yep.
placements on the beaches. So that's one.
And you sense the sense of frustration.
Oh yeah,
Right.
feeds me.
All right. Any other actions you want to take?
Oh yeah, number 2.
Oh, sure.
Oh, sorry, unless someone else has something else they want to jump in with. Number 2, yeah, I'm grabbing I'm gonna take another 2 tankards, and I'm gonna watch for the next most amicable interaction I see with a Winter Sun and a quote unquote civilian.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they're removing themselves from the Winter Sun, I'm just gonna straight shoulder check them and lose both tankards on him, and just and I'm like grabbing him and just slapping the shit out of him. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, and like I'm like come on, and just dragging him out. I'm like, oh, just like pushing, slapping, like, oh no, it's so, oh sorry, right, and I'm taking him out. We're leaving.
Okay. Yeah. It's not long before some of the legit guards that come to you and it's like, is there something we can help with? Like, is there a problem? Is that person injured?
And I'm like, oh no, I'm helping. Yeah, do the Hero Sun react to this at all? Would this be putting myself in danger? I don't feel like it. I'm kind of stretching that one.
You think you can probably take him, so I don't know. I'll let you decide if you feel Rethold feels in danger by this.
No, this is
At this point, I get the sense that like
yeah. I mean,
he's like,
am I causing trouble?
he's
No.
almost inviting it. Like he's like, oh please
Yeah, no, yeah.
take us away.
Yeah. So I drag him off into a corner, and like the pretense just drops, and I just lift him and put him against the wall, and I'm like, "Hello."
Nothing comes out in return. Like
Yeah.
just like there's a stare in your face. There's about 1 million questions that comes out. None of them make it to that person's lips.
I'm like, "Deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. Good, yes, okay."
He finally manages to gather himself enough to utter a what have I done?
I'm a very good friend of the mayor, of the governor, whatever, of the duke.
Of the Duke. That's right.
Very good friend of the governor.
Is he gonna be here?
Yeah.
I've heard so much.
Right.
Right. I heard he opened a shop in town.
That's right.
For the day.
Right. He nods and he's like, yeah.
I'm like, good. What were you telling the Winter Sun?
They just I just worked the grounds. They just said they may need access to some of the rooms on the upper level, so one of the doors should stay unlocked.
Slap him just straight across the face. Just whap! Like, I don't care if someone hears it. Just,
You get
yeah.
a very undignified you slap him straight across the
let's go.
face.
and I'm like, I'm sorry, I must be stupid. Are the Winter Sun the security at this event?
No, but they've been keeping order in town, so
Oh my good. Dumb foreigner, I'm sorry, because the last week I've been here, it has not been safe.
Yeah, no, like the more
His voice
more
keeps
he
going
talks,
up.
there's more and more air
Yeah.
and less sound into his voice. Right?
I've slowly started lowering him, like feeling the little bit of drag
Yeah.
against the wall.
You feel he's slightly heavier
Yeah, and
than when you first
man.
lifted him.
yeah, and I stop just far enough where his where his toes can tap the ground, but his heels are still a few inches off.
Yeah, you feel his feet like try to reach
Yeah.
for the ground as he gets there, but he's not quite there. And there's like the slightest whimper.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry. What's your name?
Augusto.
Okay, Augusto. My name's Juan.
Kind
Good to meet you.
You get the most pathetic. Oh, Mr. One,
It's good. It's good.
how can I help you?
Yeah, he's
I-
ready to.
I work this event.
I
How?
yeah. I go back to the one hand.
His face
and
is like red.
That same hand comes up, and it pats him gently on the chest.
You get the full flinch
Yeah.
at the moment your hand goes up, and there's like still like a little.
And I go, Augusto, I'm really excited about this party for my friend. And I would love for you to tell your other friends who are working this event to follow the rules set out by those also working the event. Not the people who are supposed to be here having fun.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying... Well, no, I am enjoying this a little. I'm a bloodthirsty savage from a far land. I won't lie.
Yeah.
It's, sure.
At this point, you're just going along with it. Like you're just saying this stuff. And he's like, yeah, sure,
What?
sure.
But is this what I'm supposed to be saying? So
You're,
put me
you're
down.
like bloodthirsty savage.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
But
Like, no, you're actually very
just like...
genial.
Just like a bunch of people out there, I like to have fun. And I want my friends to have fun.
Well, I want you to have fun too, Mr.
Great!
Horn.
I'm glad we're all on the same page. And just so you know, I have other friends in the crowd
Oh yeah,
who
no,
are much
that,
less patient than me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
In fact, one of them's flying above our heads.
You're right, yeah. It's like, so if you have any doubt,
Suddenly, Jinya's like tail feathers tingle.
That crow-like throw of the head.
because I noticed that some of the other people who work this event were having nice little chats with the Winter Sun, and that's great.
Do
we
I
want them to
notice
have fun.
Rethel doing?
I don't know.
They're,
You wanna-
they're under
Yeah.
you can't really see them
Okay.
Yeah,
'cause
50-50. I don't know. Whatever.
I was like, as she sees him, she's just gonna land on his shoulder and like the weird
Well,
bone crackle.
I will
noise.
say, like, if you circle around, you can clearly see Rethold holding somebody against the wall, like just the side of him.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to land on his shoulder,
You land at the
you
edge
can.
of the little alleyways.
Yep.
Hop.
And then that bone crackle sound that ravens make.
Hello. This is one of my friends.
Oh yeah, no, okay, hi.
She actually holds out a wing and bows.
And I get like nose close. I'm like, just in case you were wondering what type of people you have to watch out for.
Oh yeah, no, I gather that.
Scary
Make
ass fucking
sure
foreigners.
your friends are also just following orders.
Oh,
But
yeah.
not from the winter side.
Yeah, that's why I enunciate orders. Orders, not suggestions. This is an order.
Yes, Mr. One. And there's like the longest pause as you feel his toes, like his feet are like sort of dangling, like going limp and tapping on the ground. And he just the shameful pause, and he's just like, so I guess the door stays locked.
I'm glad you said it because I don't know if I would have figured that out, and I let his heels touch the ground.
Okay.
You know, so
I'll
if you want, I can help you get cleaned up, or you good? Because you look a little, the tankards.
the moment he's touching the ground,
Yeah.
he seems very eager to not be here
Okay.
anymore, and he's
Okay.
just like, I feel
Good
I
talk.
feel I've
Yeah.
taken enough of your time
Absolutely. No,
at this
it's-
point.
hey, if you see me later, we'll have a drink. It's great. I'm glad we have this talk.
Sure, and I hope you and your friends have fun, Mr. Ford.
Exact. Oh, see,
Because that's
feels so welcome.
the point.
Yeah, absolutely. The crow's just mean mugging him.
Yeah.
The raven's just blocking.
Yeah,
Flex.
he's purposefully looking at you and not at the bird
Yeah.
because that is
No, I hop up on his shoulder.
yeah.
And then, like,
After
He's avoiding your face.
There's the
This
cross.
is happening
Yeah.
at the periphery, and he's like, I'm not taking the bait. I'm not looking at you, bird.
Yeah.
And then crackle, crackle, crackle. I love that sound. It's my favorite sound in the world.
Oh,
That they make that
Passes
just...
his wits plus notice, he sees their shadows stretch strangely.
Oh,
Yes! Rise up behind them.
uh,
Yes.
we've got friends on the other side.
You've been talking to the Shadow Man? Shadow them?
Yes! Oh
There you
man,
go.
you're the shadow them. I love it.
the shadow them.
Teach me butt stuff, Shadow. Then.
That's right. That's right. You have to take the mantle.
Yep.
It's a heavy responsibility.
The butt stuff mantle.
I mean,
Yes.
So I will.
you need to save a young girl and then...
Oh no.
I've watched that anime.
It'll start coming to life, and it'll just be a big butt that has glasses.
Damn it all!
Oh,
So I think there's butts crossing dimensions now.
that's how we always thought it.
Interdimensional butt.
It's because we have a shadow them now.
Oh my
So
God.
butt stuff needs to be taught.
I see.
Regardless.
Heavy lies the burden. You've accepted the path of shadows.
With extreme power comes extreme responsibility.
And butt stuff. Extreme butt
Right.
stuff.
There's like a butt appearing in the sky as you say
It's like
these
a Batman
words.
logo.
Butt man.
It's like
Yeah.
this dark mark, only it's just a big butt.
Right.
Signal. Let's be fair.
The butt peeking behind the cloud is like someone needs me.
I'll be there. Behind you.
Yeah.
You're all welcome.
Don't goose me, shadow them.
Oh no.
I dropped my keys.
Oh
Don't do me
no.
dirty.
I hope some shadow them doesn't follow me home.
None of my soaps have ropes.
It's the fucking continued bit. Oh no, not my sweet innocent butt. It'd be a damn shame if a shadow of them was to.
Curse my loose and billowy pants.
That guy.
It'd be a damn shame if a shadow of them came to goose me while I tied my shoes.
My knees don't bend anymore.
Oh, well,
You're- that's who you are now, man.
thank you for the gift.
I accept.
I accept. Just,
You're given the butt wand.
yep, just solemnly.
Whoa. Is that part of it? Okay.
I think they call it a plug.
Hey.
Ah,
I mean, the Elder Wand did have those nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
knobs,
Yeah.
notches.
Yeah.
Sure did.
For their pleasure.
It looked porous.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
how I know they're
And
good.
it might have a splinter. So it's like,
As long as it's dishwasher safe,
I
you know, just chuck it in there afterwards. And...
Yeah, as long as it's cleanable.
I
It's
don't know.
not-
I watched that like 1,000 Ways to Die show, and
Yeah.
No, that is why you need that flare at the end to
Anyway.
keep it from going too far.
okay.
Unlike this joke.
Yeah. To,
There's just a field of dead horses now. Everyone put your
prevent-
clubs
to
down.
Yeah,
prevent-
no,
that-
this fucking we stopped for snacks partway through this trip. Shit.
Yeah, we did.
to prevent that joyful moment for turning into a trip to the emergency room,
Oh my
you
god.
gotta put some safety in place.
It'll make a really great story though. Come on, do it for the memes.
Um,
Oh my god.
so yes, your
This man pees his pants.
yeah,
Yes.
well,
let's
this
go.
man,
Poops himself.
He's
also
much lighter now. Yeah.
he does this thing after you let him go, where like he dusts himself out, and then he turns to sort of leave your presence, and as he steps out into the sun, he looks at the ground next to him and does like a, you know, and then he starts
right.
to walk more
With
hurriedly.
Nice.
In Rethel's voice, the raven croaks, "What happened?"
Hello.
And I say back,
You're gonna say that all the time. No, like perch.
that's a cool trick.
And
Can you also say something like, "Well, yes, you are handsome.
she repeats it.
You're so very strong."
She poops.
Well, now I'm not going to tell you.
Ruffle.
and I start to take off the like whatever you pooped on. And I like take a little vial out and I start to clean it off. I'm like, I'm a bird. I shit on people when I don't get my way. Mm.
She chuckles.
Not only are you strong, Rethel, you're very fastidious about your cleanliness, contrary to what most people believe about your people. It's
She does
harmful
in your
stereotypes.
voice say, "So clean."
They're harmful
Goes-
stereotypes, and I would think if anyone you would understand.
Method is going
Understand.
into his. There are many harmful stereotypes.
I'm gonna
Ricardo,
go eat a child just to make up for it. If anyone, I would think you would understand.
right?
There's a lot of stories about that.
Eating them children, so good. They're just so juicy and plump.
Do I have an idea where that hideout is?
Which hideout?
The one that Don Francisco was in.
But yeah, basically,
Not
I'm just
really.
like, I
Okay.
saw the fucking.
Not from
stalk
the
of Winter
vision,
Sun.
anyways.
Figured I'd do something about it. And apparently, the
Let
Winter
that
Sun are
one
like, "Hey, you should
percolate.
do this, you should do that." So
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe I should go. Maybe I should go pluck some more
gonna
flowers.
Look. I'm gonna go to the
She
party
nods.
grounds and
Okay.
look for Isaac.
Ooh.
All right.
What?
Somewhere.
Well, just like
Careful, you
And
can
then,
set off the fireworks early.
Whoops.
you're discussing with your new aid, and then the hairs on the back of your neck. Sort of
We're not gonna need.
straight.
We're not gonna need the fire department anymore.
Oh goodness.
That was the least obscene way I could think to say that. In the moment. I had a few other loaded, and I was like, nope.
Put it out.
He had an internal
I
workshop.
did. Oh man, there was a panel held a discussion on that one.
A few of those were spicy. Am I using that correctly?
Yeah,
I'm not old.
but I had
Yeah,
a pervert.
you get the same experience as everybody else. Like you get stopped at the checkpoint coming through, both you and Aurelia,
and
then
the dress.
there's a
Yeah.
couple.
Well, I'm actually not
Chats.
wearing it right now, but yes.
Yeah,
Somewhere in the
it's-
distance. It's
Yeah, but the
still-
dress is behind you.
Okay.
Oh, damn it.
The dress is already here. It's
It's-
cavorting with everybody.
It's that scene from
The dress is,
from Sleeping Beauty when the birds are dancing the cloak, but there's no birds, and it's just like behind you.
the dress is
Yeah.
Rapunzel during that really badass song that they played in it. And
Yes.
Yeah, the dress is already here partying.
yeah, and
It's
the,
leading the conga line.
yeah, the dress looks up at you and everyone goes, "Hey!"
And then it goes, and it runs home.
Yeah, it gets cleared through a supervisor, and that the guy manning the checkpoint
I
sort of
make
says,
uncomfortable eye contact with everybody. Uncomfortably long.
he sort of looks down
just
as you make
just
eye
circling
contact
your
with
own
him.
face, mouthing, "Remember this."
He says, "Are the two of you have friends inside? Yes."
I believe so. I'm friends with many people.
You hear me laughing
Okay,
loudly.
go in.
Yeah.
Go in.
You hear Rethel muttering.
I will remember you. And
I will also remember you.
Ooh, oh my!
I just thought of that too.
Actually,
And then, just, a little bit more of that, and then I just walk off.
you
yeah.
hear Rethel arguing loudly with a raven on his shoulder. I think
So-
it's harmful stereotype.
Sarah McLaughlin is tuning up with the
No.
musicians up front.
Oh no, here comes the dress.
The dress is Sarah McLaughlin.
No, it's being sung for her.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for you to
Because it hasn't been fed in a while. It's
Catch.
sad.
ca-
Sorry.
to catch sight at least of Rethel.
It's never too early for racism. Again.
No. It gets up very early in the morning.
I stop and I'm like, did someone mention this? Did we? Yeah.
Yeah, Rethel is very easy to see, mostly because
He's Rethel.
he's
you
kind of
fucking look
glowing.
at him.
He's
He's
kind
a
of glowing. to
blonde man
that
in a
kind of
top
look.
hat.
He's having a great time. He has booze. He's chatting with Ricardo.
He's
Um,
accosting people.
Have any
Yeah.
of you seen
Yeah.
Isaac?
I might shoulder check a
Yes,
couple more.
like
Oh, you-
somewhere further away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you're
I'm like,
you're not even that close to them, and yet you still hear this. Jimena, and you know-
Isaac?
I'm like, why would he be here?
Well, why would
Unless
he
I know
be?
why he would be here.
He would be here because he helped put the stage together and everything. He's working the event.
And then-
He's
and
the
then-
little Romeo, yeah?
yeah.
Not.
Okay.
In fact, he must be
vibrator.
here.
And then Jimena put him up to, hey, you gotta make sure nothing happens.
I was thinking of your boyfriend
No, see, no,
back in
there's
San Pedro.
no. My
You're
boyfriend
thinking
in
of
San,
Jorge.
my boyfriend in San Felipe is Sebastian.
Sebastian.
My boyfriend on the ship is Jorge.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now my boyfriend in Liso
Yeah, she
Yeah.
make this
is
back over.
Isaac.
She
You gotta
could
keep
totally
them all
have a
in
man.
Yeah, no,
separate
different
for-
area
You
code.
just keep cranking down the age on these dudes, bruh. Come
What can I
on.
say?
You're gonna be after the little guard boy with no
No,
name next to him.
that's
No.
not true. Jimena has standards,
Okay.
Jenny wouldn't let that happen.
right?
Yeah, well, you
Jimena's
don't-
not interested in boys.
she's
Isaac may
interested
be
in the
young.
concept of certain. She's interested in
Isaac
certain
may be
concepts.
young, but he's a man.
She's interested in Isaac because he's at the cusp of fully becoming a man.
I mean,
Someone's got to take him there.
exactly.
That-
There's that opportunity there.
That vision
She
that,
is a pirate.
that Marlena had.
Stealing his golden
Exuded.
treasure.
She wants that
manliness.
booty.
Yeah.
It actually really did.
That's what I do. Jorge went off on a vision quest and came back way back
Wow.
That's
more
right.
manly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He got sad that
Wow.
Jimena did not stay on the boat, and then he fucking went on a
Wow.
vision quest and came back as a lumberjack pirate.
Wow.
So
He's got scars and shit.
Wow.
And he has
Hot.
horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can
Wow.
change into a
He
horse.
serves on a fucking crazy boat that may or may not fucking kamikaze like some of your enemies at some point. So
Damn, man.
By the way, is there when I'm now that I'm in the grounds, can I see anywhere that looks like
But yeah, I want to keep an eye out for that kid.
Mm.
Right?
but yes.
Yeah.
But like the building that I saw Isaac in. I know I only saw it from the inside. Never mind.
Yeah. Yep.
But what about the burned building? Do I see that anywhere here?
none of that matches what you've seen around here. You're not exactly sure from your vision that you saw an actual place.
That's fair.
You get a sense that this vision in particular may have been less about something that happened verbatim and maybe more
Well,
symbolic.
that's why it was hazy. Yeah, okay. Well, never mind then.
I see through Isaac's soul.
Oh, yeah?
Let me count him. Sorry, go ahead.
But we haven't found Isaac yet, though.
No.
There's a
No.
wits plus notice to see if I find him.
Ah.
See if I see him. If he's around. If
Yeah.
not, I'm gonna see through space and fucking time because
Yeah, honestly, like if other people couldn't do this, I need to save my life.
I'm
Yeah,
6
Riffled.
wits plus notice to fly up and see if I can see him
Okay.
anywhere.
I'm gonna roll it too, just because someone said his name and now.
I'm on alert.
right.
Isaac alert!
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Get it.
We appreciate
10?
it. Oh, never mind.
Almost fucking 12.
You smell his musk, and then you
Yeah, like you see me lift one leg and point.
No, you Pepe Le Pew
No.
in the air and you just float
Oh yeah,
after
my
it.
feet lift off and I'm
Yeah. It's like a
Like a-
pie
like a
attracting
fat
a
cartoon
hobo.
to a pie.
It
Yeah.
turns into a hand and tickles
Yeah.
your nose
Oh.
like this.
Come, child.
Hey, man, I
Riffle
got
sees
5.
Evine was at 10.
I look dead at you, Evie, and I'm like, nice spot.
Evie,
I wasn't wearing my robe.
yeah, legit, like, you don't see Evine, but for whatever reason, you look up
Straight
at
dead through his
the
soul.
tower. Evine, there's a chill in your body because Rethel doesn't seem to be looking at you, but he's looking directly in your direction for a second.
But then you see his nostrils flare and his attention turns.
Yep.
Yep.
From the top, you don't catch sight of Isak anywhere.
Not bobbing about.
No, he's not in the courtyard, so you can at least make that clear. He's not anywhere on the grounds.
She'll land on Ricardo's shoulder and in Ricardo's voice, not on ground.
Yeah, I thought I hadn't seen him. How many do you get?
I got 5.
You got 5. Rethold, you're sort of talking about, and then you hear the name Isak pronounced, and again, almost like a dog, like your head snaps into that direction from the clock tower to the direction that you hear the noise, and it's coming from the building where all the VIPs are
Oh, maybe we'll see his
supposed to
mommy
be
and
at.
Oh yeah, it's parents. Yeah.
Jimena,
daddy.
you also will catch, because you're particularly attuned to the name, you're closer to the building because the back of where your fireworks stand is at that building, and you can hear it. It's muffled, but you hear what you think is the name being pronounced.
I look over to Jimena.
Can we see each other?
We're like across.
Yeah, you're
Oh, yeah.
you're across the
Like,
corner.
like,
Okay.
like I think we are both looking at the building and then make eye contact and I just nod and I start heading towards the building.
I go with.
All right, Ricardo starts to again pet the bird on the shoulder and is like, "Shall we?"
Jimena turns to Imelda. She's like, I'm going to leave you in charge of these. Don't touch them. But just make sure that nobody else touches them.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Okay.
I want to see. I want to
But
see
I'm
what
gonna
you
smell
intend.
it when you're not here.
I will be back probably shortly.
Take your time. I'm paid hourly. She sort of pulls a crate and just like sits down and then reaches in her pocket and pulls a flask. And
I was like a cigarillo. I was like, whoa, yeah.
living dangerously.
That's what I say to people like in the service industry who are like, I'm so sorry it's taking so long. I'm like, that's fine, I get paid by the hour.
Yep. Yep.
It always lightens the mood.
And then
Because I'm my father's daughter. And I can't just not say anything.
I sort of mutter behind Ricardo and Genya to myself. I'm like, I'm workshopping it sort of out loud, but not for them particularly. I'm like, get a bird cage? No, Dad. No. Get a,
Her head turns all the way around at you.
I'm like, what? Now you can say it in my voice.
Jimena is like primping. Like, how hot?
Angry caw. Turn away.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish.
The gentleman
I don't
that
speak Castilian.
Well, she does. So.
where do you come from? I've seen alternate realities.
Oh yeah, we're heading straight up in there. Let's go.
Yeah. No, you basically get flagged in and you recognize the guard at the gate is the one usually guarding the estate in Liso. So you get ushered in the moment you're witnessed. Yeah, and there's a lot of
Doing a little cleaning.
there's a lot
She
more
can reach now.
guards up in here, sort of going everywhere, like, you know, running security. There's a lot of conversations happening about keeping everybody safe. You see some detachments of nobles who are in here hoping to talk to some of the VIPs. Right now, they seem frustrated because nobody of importance is on this floor. There's a few church dignitaries, but the guard at the door sort of points to the staircase and says, "Second level. Don't worry, people. We'll let you through." And if you go in that direction, you'll see there's a security checkpoint at the bottom, at the top of the stairs. Once you get to that floor, now it starts to look like the who's who. Like there's a heavy guard in here, but there's some impeccably dressed members of the nobilities. You spot a few bishops in there. You catch sight of Inquisitor Mazabi, who's hanging at the periphery with his own retinue to the retinue of another woman in cardinal's robes. And
Wait, do we need to kill her?
No,
No,
we
no,
want her
oh,
on
she's
our
cool.
side.
Okay.
She's the one that we're trying to be like, no, you should come with us.
Yeah, but I
Or we
think
should
she and
kill her?
Muzabi had like
yeah,
a thing.
we want to
No.
strengthen that because then she'll be more on
No,
our
we
side.
need at least one person because she's not a bad person.
No, yeah, we
Yeah.
want her on our side.
No, she's a good connection.
Oh, she's
that
a
we-
good person.
Yes.
She's a good connection. She's a good person.
both.
All right,
Yes.
all right.
she's a cardinal. She sits on the
No, yeah.
Council de la Maison. She's she's basically the cardinal for Odisseo, right? Gallegos. As
Yeah, but there was
Castile.
some dorming things happening.
Well, that's the theory, right?
Yep.
That there's
It's not a theory, it's true.
there's some
we decided.
unfinished business.
There's no theories here.
Um,
Truth.
Only truth.
But yeah, they're both there
You
with
got
their
that.
retinues. They're talking to people.
Fucking.
She looks like exasperated talking to nobles. Mazabi is not. Mazabi, he's just
Smoozing.
doing his thing. You catch sight near a column of Elohim just also doing his thing there, which is like there's like a periphery where no nobles
He's just being
stand
grumpy.
around
Yeah.
around where he
I
is,
think
right?
it's so hot. I do not say that in character because
I just
that's
love
just me.
Halloween.
But Mazabi is in his element. He's schmoozing with the nobles. He's being fucking charming to them, right? Like they're giving him all the time of day. Periodically, you see the lady you assume is Fatima, like sort of turning around and almost like rolling her eyes at this, like fucking tune it down. You're annoying.
Rethel realizes that amongst all these fancy ass people, he smells like spilt beer.
Yeah.
So I peg a particularly burly waiter and
That's
drag
rude to do in
drag
daylight,
him.
Michael.
Hey,
Like in
hey.
front of all these people.
Yeah.
Right?
In front of my salad?
Remember,
Sorry.
savage. Just I take what I want when I want.
Start taking off his
It's a
belt.
party now. Let's go. Anyone else want in on this? If not, I'm just gonna finish this off.
Wow.
I started it.
So,
You belong to us.
I know.
Now and forever.
I know.
Nice.
Okay.
I slide over and I'm like, hey, real quick, can you swap my shirts, or can you grab your shirt real quick? You snag another one in the back, take you off rotation real quick.
There's
got
like
into a situation downstairs.
there's a quick exchange of looks with one of the ranking guard members there, and you get like the guard member is like
Take off your clothes.
disrobe, sir. Like basically this is
Like
what
that-
this look.
No, yeah, and I motion like
Batman
around the
asks you to
corner.
strip. You strip.
Yeah, there was no words, but the looks are basically like, do I gotta do this? And he's like,
Like, just do it.
take off your clothes, kid.
I slap him a tenner. You know, I'm like, hey, thanks, man.
Do what the man
Appreciate it,
says.
Yep.
Do you know what he's done? Do you know what
Oh.
he's known for? We'll sing you the song later tonight.
Yes. So yeah, so this happens. This little exchange happens with a small degree of awkwardness.
Thankfully, the leather doesn't
But-
absorb too much of the ale, so the
Yeah.
shirt, the fresh shirt helps.
There's a little bit of awkwardness, but after there's a pretty immediate like, okay, this is a cool dude. I'm good with this.
Well, yeah, and I also I hand him some cash. We pop around the corner, and I'm like, here, that's good.
Yep. And
So
also
skilled at taking another man's clothes.
it was such an immediate
You
nod
get
that
some practice.
kid knows it's like this is somebody I should be in the good graces of. I am gonna get in good with this person, whoever they are.
Jenny
You fight?
can't help but like start like cleaning her feathers.
You fight? You any good with a knife?
I like to think so.
Okay, good.
What does that mean?
Yeah, there's a bit of a. Sure.
How do you like the name Jose?
Jose is my father.
It's
Sorry.
fine.
So it's a good name. Good.
One of these days, you're gonna try to baptize one of these guys, and he's gonna be like, "My name's already Jose."
You were meant to be.
Then he will break the cycle.
Right?
No, we need a new name.
It's like, yep, you're gonna be the only one that's named something else because you have to go through the baptism.
But yeah, good man. And I just
Yep.
sort of like leave it at that.
Yeah, you walk back into the room, and again, who's who. You actually spot on the far end of the hall, Governor Perez.
Cool.
And
So he's here.
among the retinues and among not the nobles, but among the soldiers, is Isaac. So sort of wearing a sword, like he's not wearing like a guard uniform, but he's wearing like his best clothes, and he's listening to a lady commanding officer that's giving directions, more or less.
Oh,
Oh.
and he listens to women.
I think you guys had to take direction from a lady. What have you
Will
done?
you please pass me that?
So many things.
I mean, so far so good from my point of view.
I'm sorry. I regret everything.
You made me ink. Sorry.
No, that was not.
Mylena, as this happens, you sort of catch sight of Isaac there.
Yo, what's up?
He he actually looks in your group's directions and sort of spots you all, and he spots Jimena. And immediately, like, he sort of looks and straightens a little bit, and then, like, focuses again on what the officer is saying. But as this happens,
Star-crossed stuff.
you start to walk to the side, almost to where, like, Rethold went to get change, and peek in the doorway. And as you look down the hall, you're standing opposite from it, but this is it. This
Don't
is
be
the
on
hall
fire.
you saw. Like, this is the long corridor. You can already picture the dead winter sun on the ground there. And on the far wall is what looks like a rolled banner of some sort at the top.
Wow. Yeah,
Completely
this one
rolled
was,
in.
This one was pretty.
Someone with a dramatic flair was like, "This should go here."
Yeah, that's right. So one day,
It's our job to walk back and forth across this.
yep,
We
one
have to have all
day,
these chick.
And it just so
Trust me.
happens outside those windows is Jimena's firework display. How about that?
one day,
We're not
this'll
allowed to look at that
badass
window.
as fuck.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to look at the display as it explodes, though. Oh no.
So okay, the banner's up top. Is there anywhere you could stand up top, or is it just attached to a wall?
It's attached to the wall.
Okay.
It looks like there's a rope of some kind. Like, this is probably meant to be like, you know, you can pull on it and it unfurls, right?
Mm-hmm.
As I see everyone here, and I clock Isaac and the governor, I make eye contact with, like, the head guard, and I wink real hard at him, and I yell, "Vigilance check!" and I thwack my fork with the 6 straight at Isaac's feet.
Wow.
To all of you who are in the room, you hear this.
And we all go, eh.
Immediately, dozens of swords are drawn everywhere.
Wow. Where do I see like the commanders too?
As Marielena's like reliving the vision.
Yeah, yeah,
I start some violence for
Yep.
shiggles.
yep.
I go to the commander and I say, "This corridor right here. What is going to happen there during the party?"
Nothing for the party.
You
This
should-
actually leads to the back.
Let's see. You
We're
should-
keeping it clear just in case we need to evacuate the governor.
That's good. You should have more people posted here.
Sure.
Fucking do what the lady says.
Vigilance check. Twang.
Yep. Swords are drawn everywhere. You hear like pistols getting like
He's not
Readied.
the problem. He's fine.
there's a bit of side eye. That's common.
I start clapping, and I'm like, good, yes, good. I would like to clock who seemed ready to defend the governor.
Yeah. It's
That's a good one.
Yeah.
it's
No, wits plus warfare, wits plus
yep.
empathy.
Wits plus warfare is good.
All right.
I'm gonna wits plus warfare too, because I fucking can.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
please,
can.
by
Yeah.
all means. In another game, you should get advantage because no one expects you. I don't. No, it's not. That's not a fucking thing. I don't listen to me.
No one expects the crow to understand warfare.
Evie,
Well, they don't know. They don't fucking know crows.
from your perch above, you've seen the group sort of go into that back building. You also, through the window, can catch a little bit of what's happening right now. You heard Rethold yell something. It's a little bit far from there. You saw a bunch of swords getting drawn, but then they're getting resheathed immediately. So, I don't know. Somebody made a loud noise, maybe. You do know this though, that since Rethold spoke with that man, like there's some increasing agitation among the Winter Swords. You witness at least one incident where one of the Winter Swords like looks like they might rough up
Yeah, the winter
one
swords.
of the one
So we
of
know who
the
they really are.
one of the commoners, and immediately like one of the guards comes to break it up.
Yeah, that's fucking right.
Just to be like, hey, whoa,
Yeah, they're lucky I wasn't
stop
fucking
manhandling
there.
this person.
8.
Oh, I think I also add
job.
when I
2, 3,
start
4,
to
5, 6,
see
7, 8, 9.
that they're taking note to the commander. Only choose people here that these two say you should choose. And then I walk away.
There's nods. Yeah, the crew in here is tight. It looks like nobody is up here that shouldn't be.
That's nice.
That and then Rathold, you've talked with Landreville. He probably handpicked all of these people with the protection of Carlos because he understands the risk. Plus the other VIPs as well, right?
Yeah.
Like the fucking Cardinal is here.
There's
and,
a lot going on.
No, sure, yeah.
So
As long as no one was slow to draw,
Or
no,
like,
position themselves away from the general. Yeah, okay,
right,
yeah.
right. No,
From
at
the
least
general assembly. Yeah.
this crew at least seems legit.
All right, cool. Great.
There's not as many as downstairs, probably for that very purpose, right? Like this is the elite circle, and you hear if you're hanging around, like you hear them like go through the. That's how this event is gonna go. At the first sign, we pull the governor out of the courtyard, away from sight, back into the building, out the corridor. I want this corridor clear at all times. No traffic from upstairs. The moment this starts, nobody comes up or down without our say so.
I look at Isaac and then I turn back to the commander and I say, he needs to be here too. It's important.
Oh, I intend to keep him here. He's offered to help, and so he will.
Be up here in this building the whole time.
Well, I'm sure they can do without him for the next.
It doesn't
10
have to be
minutes.
at all times. But if there is any incident here, he needs to be here. I'm sure you can make sure he is.
It would be against my orders to do so. He reported for duty, mentioned some names to Captain Landreville, and Landreville immediately assigned him to my squad under that recommendation and commended he joins us. At least the kid is not completely useless and seems to know which end of the sword goes into the other person. So
I have picked up the fork and am
Twanging it.
mock fencing at him. I'm like, it's good. No, yes.
So I will not have to train a complete recruit, but yes, he will be here. He will join us, and he will be held responsible if he falters or causes any difficulties. And she sort of looks at him.
I laugh and I say, he will not. He has resolve.
He is the chosen one.
The lamps in the room suddenly get brighter.
Oh my.
And it's like, he would never.
But I pretty much,
How dare you?
I've done all the meddling I should do here now. I feel, man, this dress is
And if
making
you're
me feel so mystic.
And if you're still like,
You're not even wearing it right
Oh
now.
no,
It's
I've
rubbing up on you.
I've had my fun.
The
I've-
dress
I'm
was
actually
in
seeing
you the
whether or not
whole
I can
time.
basically
The dress
cast
was in
Spark
me the whole
Inspiration
time.
on the crew.
That's right. It's
Jimena
just
basically
me
comes over
wanting
and is
to
like,
kill
did the Batman
people.
scare you?
Yeah, because if he says
Honestly,
anything
I'm
but
just
no, I was
helping
not
other
afraid,
people
then
kill people.
he's
at
out.
this point.
Isaac actually comes to you, Jimena,
Oh.
after, there's a little bit of a break, And
Ugh, I just had a weird thought looking at these visions.
he says, I feel I have to thank you.
He has a woman at Odyssey.
I know.
They ain't married.
He wants to be.
It doesn't stop the fantasy right
They
now.
ain't married
No,
yet.
no.
Yes.
Ximeno's not gonna.
I got a person at Odyssey too.
Has Ximeno done anything with any of these dudes yet? No. Like
That's
it's all in her head.
She just collects potential
I feel
boys.
like
Yeah.
Sebastian
The
did
most-
kiss her though.
Overactive.
That is true. Sebastian did kiss her.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
If
But
anything,
that's as far as it's gone with anybody.
I mean, I think this sounds even better because then it's just constantly like building up to
It's the
a-
constant
No,
story.
because he has to practice before he gets to the lady that he actually
Oh, see, I
wants.
thought that's where I thought we were
We
going
gotta
with this.
perfect his technique
Uh-huh,
before he
sure.
gets to his lady.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Yeah, that's
sure,
what it works.
absolutely, yeah.
Jimena's
I
like,
feel like this is the plot
I
of
don't
some
think that's how
Otome
that
game out there.
works.
Jimena's just like, I will teach you the sword and other things. I will mentor you.
I will
The
teach you
other
the
sword.
quote
Yeah.
unquote sword.
Right.
Wow.
We will spend the
I'll
summer
teach you how
together.
to use your sword.
Right.
Hey.
Wham, wham,
And
wham.
how
We
she
will
did
spend the
too.
summer together. Not a day more. And when we are done, you will be ready.
And you'll never speak of
I
this
was gonna say
again.
we'll never speak again.
Yep. Yep.
And every so often, when your wife says,
Wistful remembrance.
when your wife asks, "Where did you learn that?" you will look into the far off distance.
You'll
Right.
remember.
You will look out at the sea.
A summer so long ago.
And that's the beginning of
Can I have one
that
of
play. Of that
Yep.
that
That's
right.
novel starts with that.
That's
Fight.
right. When we get to that side story,
Ugh.
this is
I want to play that with my making.
that's 100% what it is.
Yep.
Is
Um,
Jimena is the heroine of a
Yeah, because she
of
has to
an
meet
Otome
all the
game.
potential
Yep,
suitors
you have
first.
to have to play all the paths.
She can't date them all, but
Yeah,
she
but she's gonna fucking try.
You gotta take a
only
taste
get-
of each.
You only
first.
get the
Gotta-
friendship ending with some of them, but but the other ones.
You get the spicy end.
yep.
From Ricardo's shoulder, in his voice, Zhenya says, "Retreat."
A couple of the guards
And then-
leave immediately. Just
and
a
then
reflex.
ruffle.
Wait.
Like you actually see a couple of the guards like Carlos is like practicing his speech, and a couple of the guards are just like basically like moving in to shove him into a room.
This is the worst game of Get Down, Mr. President ever.
That's right. It's like this fucking party cannot wait to be fucking over. Like I'm so fucking tense. And people keep fucking crying wolf all the fucking time.
I need a city map.
Right.
You said map.
Yes.
I heard mop.
In the
Yeah,
I
city
need a
mop.
city
Just
mop.
smash
Any
them.
mop will do.
Yeah, I was smashing my
City
face.
mop.
Yes.
I'm like, why do you need a mop?
I know someone who at his own wedding they played Get Down Mr. President, and he managed to put his hand to his ear before someone else did, but they still tackled him because he was the target, and he will never forgive them. And I'm like, you're damn right, because you were on your toes on your fucking wedding day
You were ready.
to not be tackled by your friends trying to be shitty,
Right.
and they were still shitty. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
that is something you will continue to hold over them until the day you die.
Get it?
He's learned about his friends
No,
that day.
it's absolutely justified. But yeah,
Yeah, Isaac actually comes to you, Jimena, and says, I feel
Yeah, he
I
does.
should thank you. I was not sure what you were expecting me to do with this appointment, but it seems at least my family holds it in high regard. If things go well here, I may very well earn the freedom that I seek.
Jimena gets. She's so proud. It's like, well, I'm happy for you, and I am glad that I could have been of service.
Well, I thank you for the opportunity. I know
Oh yeah. Sorry.
this.
She's running scenarios in her head, and she's doing her best to keep
Right.
together.
together.
There's
The mu-
lots of wind in
The
all
music is
Yep.
playing.
of them. So much wind.
There's
Yep.
Flower
the whole
petals
thing.
in the breeze and all that
But-
stuff.
His blonde hair.
It says, of course, this crew is very prepared, and I'm fully convinced this event will go without a hitch. But
She does her best not to be like, like
Oh,
but
They're
it
so
doesn't
young.
matter.
Oh,
It appears
I wish I had that certainty.
the prestige of the appointment seems enough. Who would have thought? Some weeks ago, my folks were disparaging the governor, and now
Oh no,
one,
that's
one appointment in his service is perhaps enough to fill my social obligations to them. How things change.
it's unfortunate that your parents have to die now. What? They were talking shit about Carlos.
just
Rethel,
yeah, they're noble people. Of course, they're talking shit about Carlos, but apparently not anymore. Don't kill his parents yet.
yeah,
yet.
Yeah.
Not until we know they really deserve it.
The fork goes slowly back into its sheath.
She shoots you a look as if to say, "Please do not kill his parents."
Well, when I say eat the rich, I mean actually with a knife and fork, not
Right.
whatever you're planning for this boy.
I mean, are they here right now?
Where? The fork comes back out. No.
they will be, but in the courtyard.
No, Rethel's actually been glad handing with the guards and Carlos and just actually trying to lighten the mood after the vigilance check and be like, yeah.
Jimena is basically like, "Well, I know that you have to guard this area, but you know, take a break at some point. Come say hello."
I will. And I heard you had quite a display prepared. Count on me. I will be there to witness it.
Mr. Chuckles over here. Oh my God.
Well, it's either that or I just sit here going, giggity, giggity.
Yes, that's fine. I
Right.
prefer the Chuckles.
She's like, "Say, it will be great. I hope you can see it."
I will. You have my word.
Flutter, flutter,
Okay, where the heck?
Just-
Oh, sorry.
Jenny is just watching with her head like tilted. Like, what is happening?
nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
happening.
She's just.
But
What
Jimena
is
is off
going on?
in.
Jenny recognizes a courting ritual when she sees one. She doesn't know what species this is that's doing it, but she
She doesn't understand why it's so roundabout. Like,
but,
I'm like,
but intuitively there's preening going on.
yeah.
Mm.
So many feathers.
I want to ask somebody about demolitions, but I don't want to say it like
Yeah,
somewhere.
be careful.
Oh yeah, go get her.
Language
Wait, I don't know who you're talking to.
you
No, I
use
don't.
in this room.
I don't want to say it here, and I'm trying to rack my brains as to who it would.
Rethel, did someone say bomb?
Where's
Don't say bomb on a plane.
where's Laundreville right now?
Downstairs.
He's down the courtyard,
Okay, then I just walk over there.
basically like on the stage. just,
Marlena leaves.
yep.
I have my marionette strings are being used by the
no.
dress. You know,
Yeah,
The
it's,
dress is guiding
it's
you.
happening.
Y'all don't know that
No.
Marilyn has already turned in her character sheet.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
There's nothing but the dress now.
Tight. You know, I was
There's
wondering
no
whether I should
Marlena,
roll up
only
that
dress.
ice and I've been wanting to roll up and be like, what the fuck would John do with Rethel? Jesus.
Hey, well, no, Rethel. If it is your wish,
Oh, we don't have to go into it right now. This is gonna be a hell of a diversion.
well, I'm just gonna say this. We're gonna close this arc pretty soon. There will be opportunities for you to continue this on, and if that is your wish, there will be a potential out.
Mm.
Rethel's end has landed in San Felipe right now.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, good. We don't have to go back. I know it's good.
So if just putting it out there, right?
Mhm.
Love Rethel, but if you're looking for a switch, it is entirely possible, and we can talk about it.
I mean, he offered me the same out with Jenny if I wanted to make
Oh, to start popping out babies like you really like she really wants.
No, I wanted to look into building
Like an Ifrit?
an Ifrit.
No.
There's gotta be a Russian.
Like
Like
a
Madame
Egyptian.
Salvadora.
And
Like a
pretty
Kemet?
much every
Yes.
every setting.
So yeah,
I will go into the west and remain Jimena.
the end of that novel, the last line. I traveled west and remained.
You are
Jimena.
swept off your feet by this muscly man. Which one? Haven't decided yet.
I'm not done with the game yet. Like I got multiple irons in that fire. Like I'm exploring.
all
We haven't been to every country.
That's right.
Right.
We weren't nice. We weren't nice for very long. So
No, they're
we still
tomatoes.
had to pick
Sorry.
one there.
Landreville is on the stage. Again, just so many people like coming around, like last minute details,
So many
right?
friends.
Like just he's getting this on their way. But again, like with Berthold, there's like 3 or 4 people around him, and he sort of excuses himself when he sees you approach, and he's like, "Please excuse me," and just moves on. He says,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I hope all is well.
Well,
If
so
you bring
far.
me more concerns or bad news, we are good friends, but I may resent you just a little.
Just to let you know.
I'm used to it. my sisters and I rarely bring welcome news, but what I want to know is whether you have somebody in your retinue who is a demolitions expert.
A few. And he looks immediately concerned at that and sort of takes you further aside.
And also stares hard at Jimenez. Start at Jimenez
Right.
as cart that is not currently attended by Jimenez.
No. Imelda is there on
By
their
some
parade.
old woman smoking a cigarillo.
Damn, man. Dangerously.
Landreville pulls you aside and he's like, please tell me that this quest for knowledge is academic and I should
Speculative.
not be immediately worried.
Currently speculative.
I cannot say one way or another. Only that I need the information.
How quickly do you need this?
Preferably before tonight.
Well, he sort of like seems to be going through his list in his head, and he pauses for a second and he's like, you already know Angel.
Yes, I do. We work
Talk to
together.
Angel.
Very well.
Which one's on hell?
Where is
He's-
he?
Okay.
He's on the second floor above. You'll find him wearing a guard uniform. He's cleaned up. You may not quite recognize him, but I assure you, same man.
I believe I probably
His
will.
his unique skills will make him useful in case we have to protect Governor Perez.
All right. So we said second floor, like second floor of the stage. It has two
No,
floors.
basically
Upstairs
right
where
from
we just
where
were.
you just were.
Oh.
From whence you came.
Yep.
I mean, okay. Then I'll just trudge back up there and turn on my sight and
He
see where he is, because if he doesn't look like I think he'd look like, I'm sure I could still.
oh, you can
sense his
recognize him
accent.
without the
Oh.
sight. It's more that he looks
Spurned.
like a soldier right now.
Okay.
Watched it pass like a tiger stalking through the desert.
As you leave, he says,
I was getting a spot ready.
I know, right?
I will leave this matter in your hands and will choose not to worry about it
Take
yet.
a page from JC's
On the
book.
condition
Just
that if you uncover anything that is
Oh, no, maybe?
something I should know,
Thought I saw something.
you will bring it to me immediately.
Absolutely. I would do nothing else.
Well,
But right now it's just my haunted ass dress giving me spooky
Yeah.
dreams.
Yeah, I'm not
Spook
gonna
dream.
tell like the helicopter boyfriend that there's gonna be bombs if I'm not sure that's
Right?
happening. That's not happening.
You might trigger something.
It could just be Jimena gets really excited. We don't know. It's currently happening right now.
And we do have time to kill before the party.
That's what I was
Yep.
saying. You
Yep.
get it in right now before, so to speak.
Wow.
So to speak.
Oh my.
Let him get his energy back before the fight. Just saying.
Go drink a
I mean, her
Gatorade,
too. I
boy.
don't know how athletic. Anyway.
Go drink a Gatorade, boy. You got some soldiering to do.
Eat this, drink this, go. I walk up to Carlos,
Uh-huh.
and at the end of whatever stanza he's rehearsing,
Yep.
I pull out a what would I use? I pull out a piece of scrimshaw. I'm thinking maybe a sharp tooth or maybe a walrus tusk
Mm-hmm.
cap, like the very end. And I hold it out to him and I go, 1 drop of your blood.
Just one.
The people around him for a second, like, sort of pull back.
He's like, from here? Like, he's
Yeah.
being like, where do you want it from? It's like, it's totally
Carlos
normal.
himself
Yeah,
is just
yeah,
like,
the tooth not picky.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah, no,
specifics?
yeah,
Just
just one.
and sort of pokes a finger and extends it. Like, a couple of the people around are sort of watching this, like, what is happening right now?
And so I sort of like lean next to him, like I'm keeping a
Governor's
secret
got
with
all
him,
these new weird friends.
and I'm using. Jesus.
Yep.
Nice. I'm using. See there. Cast runes, dice, or bones. When you do, you ask the GM a single yes or no question about the future.
Yep.
The GM must answer honestly, but you only need to respond yes or no. If the event in question can be changed by actions of others, such as whether the person will die, the answer given represents the outcome that is currently most likely, but otherwise the power is never wrong. So I let the blood sort of find its way along the edge of the tooth or tusk.
Tooth.
And I would like to know, will the attack be ranged?
Yes.
And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, well, the ancestors say that you're not going to have to worry about anyone being close to you.
Nice way of saying that.
And I grab
All right.
I grab whoever the head garden here is as well, and I'm like, I don't know how much faith you put in such things, but someone's gonna try and shoot him.
There's immediately
Just like that.
a side conference
Just like
happening.
And then I don't know. Do I still have the intuition that Evine's up in that clock tower?
Sort of.
Yeah. So I just look up at the clock tower and I look around and I do a little finger gun for Evine
Yeah, Evine, you see
and
Rethold.
hold up the the bloody scrimshaw.
You see Rethold coming in the window and doing this old pantomime for you. Finger guns. What looks like a piece of bloody scrimshaw.
Just a little glisten Rudolph tip.
You.
Marilena, you arrive back up as this is all happening. There's clearly, as you step back into the room, concern around Governor Perez.
I tap Perez on the shoulder. I'm like, stay soft in the knees, and I'm like, hello, as I walk past you to go tell Laundreville.
There's playing musical laundry.
Yeah.
That's right. Musical.
Musical.
Laundry. That's how his day's going.
Yeah, seriously, that guy is gonna need like a vacation after this.
Oh, they both are.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we know a nice island where they can spend some time uninterrupted.
Not a prison island, like
Hey, only like a third is a prison. There's some nice
right.
unspoiled jungle back
It's,
there.
it's a
I
fort.
regrew half the land.
And it's not quite a prison anymore. It's more of a fort
It's a
now.
fort that has a
Yeah.
prison.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you know,
We just gotta like get some of those uncultivated parts and turn it into a resort. Okay, I get it.
Exactly. See, now you're getting it. See?
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah,
we'll
the
offer
bottom
tours through the leftover prison.
Yes, exactly. See, she gets it. You get it. It's great.
It's not Alcatraz.
Welcome to Mendez y Mendez Getaways.
Club Mendes.
That's
Eminem.
right.
Oh,
Now
no.
this is happening. I'm writing it down even.
Club Mendes.
It's like physical activities. They're just fucking hard labor.
Boot camp situations. Someone yelling at you like 4 o'clock in the morning. Mom!
Just rowing in the bowels of a ship. It's like, ah.
Just like crying and rowing and
Come
crying
back a
some
better
more.
person.
I take requests. Dun dun dun.
Quiet getaway.
Just
It's like,
an hour of your time to watch a brief presentation.
Oh my god. Yes. That's right.
I'm so
And
triggered.
it's an insane like pantomime like
yeah.
on a stage.
There's fucking songs. Oh no. Fucking timeshare. Here's how it works. Bring me my pie charts.
San Jose is a magic place.
Literally.
All of the fucking employees. It's like, oh, I'm sorry you have to do this.
There's someone who's like pretending to be Xenia standing in the middle of the stage, and then a bunch of people in complete black
It's
outfits
just like
come
the
out.
it's just like
and
the
lift
Fire
up-
Island players.
lift
That's
up
exactly
shit.
what I was thinking.
Yep,
Doesn't
that's
it
right.
look like
Lift up a bunch of vines that grow around her, like
all the fucking old timey vaudeville
yes.
stage?
Instead of
tricks?
cast members, everyone has a name tag that says Jose.
That's right. It's all the same guy. Like, he's playing every role, right?
Also like that one guy in it.
Including the dog.
Yeah.
He's playing the dog, too.
Don't feel bad for him. He gets paid very well.
Yeah, he
Yes.
gets paid for all those roles.
He's got range.
Speaking of range, I tell Laundreville.
He
I
sighs.
show him the tooth, like clicks it, like as if
Somehow that's perfect.
He
exactly.
sighs heavily because now they're committed to this. And he's like,
Like I've told him upstairs, so you know, this is like pretty sure. This is I'm confident. That's what I'd put money on that. So
At this point, I will not disagree with you or argue with the methods. We will be ready.
have you ever seen The Christmas Carol? Like, there's a chance that's not what's going to happen, but it's pretty, unless someone suddenly has a change of heart. I know someone who's been visited by 3 ghosts at night, although supposedly it was their dress. Anyway, sorry, getting off
You
track.
started drinking early, apparently.
Yeah, since I got here.
It's
Hello?
a party.
Hello. It's
But
me.
it's a party. It's like, it's a battle. What are y'all doing?
It's a party that turns into we know it's going to turn into a fight. It
Right.
might as well be my birthday.
Why y'all fighting sober? What are your soldiers doing? Yeah, he says, we will be ready. I hoped, but we will be ready.
And I also mentioned, that makes sense that the Winter Sun wanted them to leave doors unlocked. So yeah,
He's sort of like he catches
just
himself.
like talking to the tooth. I'm like, yeah.
I would assume that our sniper is also ready.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah, so's ours.
they're crazy magic good at what
That's
they
what
do,
he's
but
referring to.
Oh.
there's still only one of them.
Mm.
So
As far as we know, I mean, there could be just multiple Evines. We
Right.
don't know that.
no, that's fair.
That's
That's
the
a character
fucking
memory,
prestige in here. You've been meeting a different Evine every single
Yeah.
interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is their hair a different color? Well, Humana changes their hair all the time. Oh, okay, that's fine.
I just assumed they were a collective this whole time. I mean,
So yeah, this
We are all Levine.
Yeah.
lot of it, yeah,
We're just a hive mind.
basically.
Yep.
We're like
That's, again,
each of us is like an avatar.
We the Avine.
We're a continuum.
I
Nice.
think
The
that
Evine continuum.
Evine
So
has
say.
taken a very bad injury somewhere and is sitting in a medic's tent having a horrible fever dream and she is projecting herself, and it has become each of us.
Right.
Because we are all a different accent.
She's the
She speaks
she's
all
the,
languages.
Yeah,
she's
and
the
sometimes
child-
your accents bleed into one another.
Oh
Yeah.
man, we're all just.
She's the child at the end of that medical show.
Saint Elsewhere.
Wait, is
Yeah.
it all just a dream? And actually,
Fuck.
we're not
she's
real.
the serial killer in Identity. We're all just asking.
Yeah,
I will-
she's like the Faith and
I will say this,
10.
right?
Rude. That's
Say,
too real. That's
Too
too much.
soon? Too
That's too
soon?
much for me.
say, if I pull the fucking Saint Elsewhere bullshit on you all at the end of this game, I will fully accept you no longer being my friend.
Are you
So-
kidding? That'd be even. Oh man. I wouldn't be able to get. I'd just be like, yo, you fucking called it. He still did it. Amazing.
Because he's lazy.
It was better than the time I called out the other DM making us transport a girl in a box. And then he got mad and canceled the game.
Cancel
He
the
didn't
game.
cancel the game because you called him.
No,
out.
I know. I was like, and I was totally ready to play Firefly in his game, so it was fine. It wasn't like I was mad.
I just... God damn, Lisa.
No,
I just liberated a hell demon and was going to use it as a mount.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
then I couldn't anymore.
That wasn't even the best.
It was
that
a
was-
hell centipede.
That wasn't even your favorite part of that game. It was the
No, it
kobold.
was my kobold.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a helipede?
It was a helipede.
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 That's when you drink a lot of beers.
That's that guy. That's that guy I grabbed and put
You
him up against the
also-
wall.
You also
He
were
did
born
helipede.
in the Bay
It's true.
Area.
Yes, you
And-
know.
You know.
When you're San Jose drunk.
You'll be
When
San
you're
Jose
San
drunk.
Jose drunk. Yeah.
Helipede.
Helipede.
Oh,
We got there. Took a bit of workshopping, but we got there.
I was following your cast. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, I know where this fish is.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, you got to do that after butt stuff, so that you
That's right.
don't get a yeet infection.
Heat infection.
Damn, we're on fire tonight,
Because I
guys.
think that was
I
open, right? No, no one knows.
No, Yeet was like it was an internet thing.
No, some black chick in at like a public transit place, and she was like, "This bitch empty, yeet," and chucked the bottle at like a
Oh,
trash can.
It probably wasn't Oakland.
But
I don't
my brain said Bart, but it might have been New York or something. So
Yeah.
Kind of look the same on the inside.
Well,
Yeah, public
lots of
transit
favorites
also.
tonight. Yeet infection.
So
At least we didn't come up with a YOLO.
So Rethold's gonna be don't because yellow's right there. So don't even
I pick up the phone and say yellow.
green.
So do
Wow.
I find on
You do
Okay.
find on hell among the soldiers.
died laughing? Now I found on
Among those ones conferencing after Rethel was like, "Hey, your boss gonna get shot at." He's
I
among
like how
that
you're the
group.
one who has actual visions, and I'm all like, the bullet will come from beyond. So
Yeah.
you must be
I'm-
prepared. We're like, we're fucking prepared, dude.
I'm a fate witch. I learned to be subtle. You're not subtle, so
No.
that's
No,
fine.
I'm like, give me the blood.
Prick your
Good.
finger with this.
That's
Cool, you're gonna get shot at. Thanks. I'm gonna go tell your boyfriend.
OMG.
And it's like, does that count as fortune telling? Really? Does that?
This is LNL abridged right there. Is exactly what just happened.
It's like Walmart brand fortune telling.
I was like,
Good
I could have told you
value.
that.
So-
Maybe I should
so
have flipped
here's
the
what I'm
coin
in-
instead of cut my
Here's what
finger
I'm
open.
envisioning now: that scene in V for Vendetta where he sets off the dominoes, and I'm setting them off, right? And then Russell comes to stop
starts
the
kicking 'em off.
Yeah. Rethel comes from above and just flattens all of them. Yes! It makes a picture!
Oh, I died.
Yeah, now you said Walmart brand fortune telling, and now I'm seeing like the fortune telling kit. Like, it has pictures of white people on it and things with like jagged edges and shit.
And they're all going, oh.
Yeah. There's a crystal ball and somebody's like this, like over it.
No. So
dressed
many fake
ethnic.
costumings.
Quote unquote.
Yep, basically. It's like a
Headscarves.
belly dancer's outfit.
Very offensive headscarf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't use the term, oh my god.
I'm I'm never gonna find out now. It's too late.
No.
They don't use the term Romani for who they're talking about.
No. They use something else.
They use the G word.
Yep. Angel is there.
We have
You
classmates.
do find him. He sort of approaches you and takes off his hat as you get closer to him and says, Am I to divine some ominous reason for you coming to talk to me?
Is that the only reason why I see people? Huh.
In our line of work, Lady Marilena, oftentimes. Don't worry if it is the case. I embrace it.
In my case, and I do not know what Berthold has said to everyone. That was that was completely independent of me.
Well,
you know something about demolitions, yes?
I do.
Well, all I really wanted to ask you is if you were, if you wanted to place explosives somewhere that would do the most damage and be the most likely to, well, let me just say, the most likely place to do the most damage.
Here?
It's anywhere in the grounds of the party, but probably closer to here or the stage.
Well, either this building or the gatehouse across with the clock tower. Because if you were to play your cards right, you could collapse the tower right in the courtyard. With the right angle, you could hit the stage. Of course, that's a...
Where Avina's stationed.
That is a...
She's at the top of the tower. That's brilliant. Like,
That's
let him try.
That's a thinking man's option because it's much more subtle, less likely to be discovered first, and would require a high degree of know-how to pull off flawlessly. There's many ways this could be done wrong if your explosives are not dosed properly, if they're not placed in the right spot. The tower could collapse backward, it could collapse on itself. But it would have flare. The more likely scenario would be to try to collapse this very gatehouse because it would more or less crush the stage if it was to come down.
When you,
But
I have
that's
a,
if you can't control.
I have a hunch
Stones.
about something,
Yeah.
and it's only a big hunch, and you can like.
Let me
That's
let
what
me give you a
Jimmy's gonna do.
Let me give you a hypothetical.
Virtue. I have never used this before.
Yep.
Virtue.
Intuitive.
What the
Ask one yes/no question about an NPC.
Sure.
And my question is Don Francisco going to blow something up in the at the party grounds?
Good question.
Fucking Don Francisco.
Yes.
Fucking Don Francisco.
Fuck me!
I knew it.
And now,
Well, now I know how I'm protecting.
well, you've spent your one yes/no question, so
I know.
But yes,
Okay.
something will get blown up by Don Francisco
Well,
at
I
this party.
almost added at the clock tower, but I feel like that would have been too much for me to know for sure that he's going to do it. So now I know he's going to do it. That's what I want to know. As for where, because Angel talked about flare, I really think that that's the option now, though.
Why was Don Francisco in prison in the first place?
You fucking crazy?
I don't think
I don't
he's
know,
doing
maybe-
it to kill Perez. He has a different cause.
He's trying to get back at somebody else.
The prophets
He
put him in
might be
prison,
the most
right?
like V,
Yeah, yeah.
actually.
Oh, yeah.
Did we
They were-
ask why he was put in prison?
They
We just
were.
rolled
Oh
it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Oh, we did?
They
Okay.
were
San Francisco
hardcore.
is V, isn't he?
They were
Shit.
hardcore torturing him because
Yeah.
he's fighting the existing regime.
Yeah. Okay.
He's pretty much, at least in his own words, a crime boss. Of
We
course,
already know
you've
he's kind of
seen
crazy.
You've seen his operation. You've seen at least part of it was operating out of his mom's place. Like, all of his guys are away on a ship.
She just
So-
used crazy
so
witch
far-
powers, and Don Fernando's going to blow something up at this party.
And I'm
Not
fairly
necessarily
sure
to hurt Carlos, but just because he's V.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Big Ben.
Because we gotta blow up
So.
Parliament.
Yeah.
Which Yvonne is at the top of.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bean.
It's not a problem for her.
You know, it's
For
funny
them.
because I was imagining like my fireworks going off and like Ode to Joy starts playing like it's
Yeah.
Die Hard and shit.
Yeah, well-
Yep.
Well, that's the 1812, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's still good.
And then red roses everywhere. The Scarlet Carson.
Yeah, I was thinking more about the movie though. Okay.
So you're talking to Angel upstairs about this. I know.
So my next question for Angel is, how many explosives would be needed to do this?
Just pull it on that dog.
For which?
The clock tower.
Why are you hiding?
A fair amount.
He has enough.
It would be quite difficult to sneak into the place. Not impossible, as someone who's done some of these things before.
Especially if we've given him our agents, because he's in league. He's in league with us now. We literally he has what's their names? Not Magnus, but your mentor.
Ernesto?
Yeah, he has Ernesto helping him out. So
Well, I
and
talked
Ernesto
into a shadow.
can talk his way into a nun's pants. So.
Yeah.
So, Evine, I know you're in the tower. I am fairly certain, actually no, I am certain, that tower is going to be blown up at some point during the night.
Oh dear.
You know what would be a ridiculous show of Genu's power? Is if as it exploded, she just went, nope.
That would be amazing.
And just sucked it right back in.
Well then, yeah, we should put you like in the middle of the courtyard.
Well, see, that's basically what I was thinking is like, if something starts falling, she's just gonna like put a dome
To
over
be
Carlos.
fair, if fire happens, Jimena can control it.
Yeah, but they're not
Exactly.
falling rocks.
Not
Yeah.
flying around.
Which-
Well, we've got
You
fire
can
and
do.
rocks, so we're
Yeah.
good.
We're fire and brimstone
We got
over
the
here,
tag
it's fine.
team.
Yeah.
You got your firebender, your earthbender.
That's right.
Yep.
So I also
Can I
say
start looking for explosives?
yes,
Well, I
that was exactly what
Am
I
I
was going to
Sokka?
suggest.
Am I the armbender? Is that?
Actually, Angel here, and I say to Angel, just talk to the shadow. Angel here will tell you where to look. And if they don't actually have them there now, you may be looking for people that would be most likely positioned to place them.
Yeah, Angel describes to you exactly where. I mean, he hasn't inspected the whole structure, right? Like, but he's. Yeah, you would be looking at something here, 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 and it's actually a fairly large quantities. Like you're talking probably like barrels of.
Oh, he's got barrels of
Explosives.
stuff.
Yeah, we saw
Um,
that. That's
And even if you go look in those spots, like not even a roll necessary. Like there's nothing there.
Right, so it's not the clock tower, or he hasn't started yet. if it's
or
the-
he hasn't started yet.
Nothing here yet.
It could also be this building, but it clashes with my other visions.
With this building, and Angel says like it would take even more. I mean, the taking it down would cause a lot of commotion and would accomplish your goal. It would make one hell of a statement, but this is more or less a guardhouse. You would have to shake the very foundation. You would need large quantities of powder in the underground level.
I honestly don't think he would put it in place until close to when it's going to happen. I also don't believe that. I don't think it's here. One of my other visions is very clear, and the building is intact. And Isaac is inside it. Something else happens here.
Is it possible that something else would blow up if you're so certain that something will?
All I know now for certain is that it is something on the party grounds. If it is not either of these places, then is there anywhere else you would think of?
Not if you're looking to cause harm to the stage or the people on it.
Well, what I think, I'm not sure the purpose is that. I think he wants to make a show. He wants people to remember.
Well, that complicates it because there's a number of ways you could accomplish that here.
But it was when you said it had flair. That was what made me think of him.
Well, if flair is what you're looking for, absolutely. If you're looking to make a statement, that may look different.
Well, I'm actually not sure what to do now.
Well, let me tell you this. I will, with your permission, pass it to my trusted in Captain Landreville's service. I am obviously here in open and visible service. There are many more of us scurrying in the grounds. I can ask them to be on the lookout for explosives.
But not mine.
Yes, not yours. I think that is the best I can do. I see things, and I can make educated guesses about them. I can confirm some things, but not all of them. All I can do is give everybody the best chance they can get at coming out alive.
This is already more than we can hope for.
Feeling the weight, man.
Well, I will pass it to my trusted. We will keep an eye out. And then, before he returns to his duties, he looks at you and says, I will not pretend to teach you how to use your powers, milady. You operate in a sphere I can never experience myself. But I know you and I are united in some other skills and duties. And let me give you this word of advice, if you would, from someone who's experienced this for a lifetime.
Of course.
Knowledge carries a weight. You will do all you can. Failure is not an option, but neither is guilt.
Yes.
Go into it knowing you are doing everything you can. Be ready to pay the ultimate price if it is necessary, but
It is
never
easier.
regret.
It is easier for me to pay the price myself than to know that others might. But yes, I understand.
And I will do the same.
All right.
Know that if there is any way I can prevent catastrophe here, I will do so.
Well then, the best of luck and fate to both of us.
Yes. Perhaps when this is done, we will drink to this.
Perhaps.
And with a bow, the hat comes back on. He sort of exchanges a couple words to his units and then starts to head downstairs to go communicate.
Yeah.
Zhenya's gonna hop down and, as she hits the ground, stand up herself.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure incites something.
Oh, there's all sort of commotion. Some of the commoners are loving it. Many of the nobles are hating it.
Now they're thinking that, is there a magic show along
And now
with
she's
it?
like,
You see a lot of the Theus crosses
Of course.
happening across the board.
yes. So Zhenya's gonna just really thoroughly inspect this stage
Oh shit.
that Carlos is on. what it's made of, what's under it, sturdy, what's behind it, what's right, like just cracks, whatever. So, I assume wits notice.
Yes. Let's go wits notice. If you want to pull into your warfare, that could also
I would actually prefer to
Be-
do warfare.
something that I would allow.
Yes, dear.
Whose are those?
These?
Yeah.
They were, Aurelia. Having a good time?
Sorry. The texture.
I know. It's a lot. Okay.
It's real nice.
7, 9, 10.
I rolled a bunch of ones and I was like, fuck. I was like, oh wait, no, that's just. I mean, still fuck, but damn.
Still fuck. Fuck. Okay, so 9, 14, 15, 8, and 7 is 15. 14, 15. That was a 10. And I'll reroll that one. Ended up with the same 3 that I didn't have before. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Warfare.
Perfect. So you tap into your inspection, right? Like
Yeah.
your knowledge of battle, like, you know, if you to sabotage something, right? Like
Yeah.
you sort of delve into that. You come
Sapping
across a couple of spots
and petards.
where the stage could have been built better. It was built in a few days,
Yeah, yeah.
so you know, you spot a few like questionable craftsmanship choices, nothing that will, you know, compromise it structurally, right? But you're pretty sure at the end of your inspection that the stage itself is not rigged,
Yeah.
or you know, nothing.
Is it hollow underneath?
No, like it's well, yes and no, because it's a structure of wood, but it has many support struts, so it's like it's not just like a frame,
Yeah.
right? It's basically been built with like many subdivisions and like angled cross
And it's
beams.
sitting
that-
on top of stone, or it's sitting on top of dirt.
It's stone.
Okay. I don't know. Does cut wood work the same? No, I don't think it does. That's not earth anymore.
No,
It's not a plant anymore if it's already cut
it's
wood.
pretty much
Yeah.
dead, quote unquote.
I mean, I could fortify it, but that's not what I
Yeah.
need.
But there's stone underneath. There's stone against the back because it's pressed against the building
Yeah.
too, right?
Okay.
But no, you don't find any traces of foul play or
She looks around for like large stones, like things that only she could pick up, kind of thing. And if she finds any, drags them closer to the stage.
as you start
Just lifting boulders.
in that job.
Yeah.
Not all of it is still on the stage, right? Like there's
Yeah.
a never-ending barrage of people that need something because it's close to showtime, and you know, there's plenty of things that need attention. But he sees you dragging stones and immediately taps one of the shoulders and points, and you get one of the soldiers coming to help you drag things about. Like,
Oh,
are there
honey.
other ones
Yeah.
you want me to pick up while you're dragging this one? I can.
If you think you can pick up one of them, then go ahead.
Well, I'll try. And
Lift.
yeah, if you point like, you know, I want this one,
Yeah.
he'll sort of help you.
Okay.
He's not as fast as you, right? But
Yeah.
at least is saving you a few trips.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
She drags over enough that if she needs to build a shield, it's easily ready for her to just move.
Okay.
So yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay.
That will be ready. Take note of that, and if you need to use it.
Yeah.
It
Well, I
will be
mean,
there.
it's just there. She just uses her terraforming sorcery for like.
Yep.
In order to get the rocks up from under the stage, they'd have to come up through the stage, which would crumble the stage.
Yep.
And because it's made of cut wood, I can't control it because it's now dead.
Yep.
So I can't manipulate the wood. So, I'm like
so you basically put concrete barriers around the.
Yep.
that I can manipulate.
Yeah, no, it's
Yep.
great.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love it.
Yep.
I'm like,
So it is now reinforced.
exactly. So there you go. That's what Jenny does.
Okay.
Get ready for tonight. Okay. And then hops back up on stage and slips her arm through Ricardo's and goes, okay.
All right. Any more prep work?
I'm prepped out, honestly.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like,
You're gonna need to go get changed.
I guess
Yeah,
I'm.
we gotta go put our party outfits on.
This
Wow.
is what I wear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, like me and Jenny are like, I'm already partying. I don't
She
know.
like
what that-
straightens her vest a little bit, fluffs
Yeah.
the hood. Okay.
No,
Like-
Jimena has a party dress.
Of
Like-
course.
Y'all saw what I look like when I got dressed up. I ripped a man limb from limb. I don't. We're here to have.
That's alright, I'm wearing red.
Yeah, I'm like I'm here to
Yep.
have fun like the common folk in my common folk clothes.
Yeah, I post up where I think I can get basically the most nice.
The
Basi-
pressure in the room changed.
The most. Oh, I thought I heard a click.
Yeah.
I thought that was your
No,
neck or
I
something.
wish.
Yeah, I guess the middle of the square is the most central point to any
Yeah.
access.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm keeping an eye out for Francisco.
Oh yeah.
Keep an eye
Sure,
out
sure.
for the Don or his underling, his second in command, since dubbed.
Right.
Oh well. Sorry, Marlena. Have you shared this recon with all of us?
Oh, yes. I mean, when I'm talking about bombs and stuff, I try to do that somewhere not
Mm-hmm.
around people. So I'd probably just, like, at some point call everybody over, maybe right before we leave.
Right.
And I explain all the things that I found out.
Well, tell Magnus and Ernesto if you see him. I'm gonna hang out here at the party, probably with Evine. And Ingenia and Ricardo, I guess, is already dressed up, or is he gonna head back or whatever?
I don't think he wants to wear dandy clothes anymore. I
But
mean,
yeah.
if he wants to.
Yeah, if I'm gonna try and pick a central point, but basically I'm just gonna continue my terror campaign. If people are still being neutral
Right.
towards the Winter Sun, I'm gonna pick them off and have a talk with them. But if they're being blatantly jovial and like trying to party with them, that is totally cool. I want that.
Sure.
But if anyone's like scurry scurry, I'm like no. And yeah, and if any of them try to start something with someone, I'm like secondary bouncer. Just, nope. Sit your ass down. I will gladly thin your fucking ranks
Right.
preemptively.
Have fun, goddammit.
That's right.
No shenanigans.
That's right.
Yank the sword out of his hand and push a beer into it.
Okay.
Drink this. Sing a song.
So all of you get your party outfits on.
Eat a sausage.
Put your best evening wear. You get ready to make a statement. Marlena, dress fits like a glove.
A sexy murder.
In the back of your mind, you hear, it is time. Tonight, things change. Your enemies will be clear. Friendships will be made.
No, it's
But nothing will be the
it's more
same.
bouncy, more open.
Not after tonight.
Wow. I got chills.
Bum, bum, bum.
Although I hear it more. Tonight it's time.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, that would be if I made you
Feed me.
some murder pants or something. That's how it speaks to you.
And here it
I,
is.
I've got,
Alright.
I've got the walrus, or no, not the walrus. A show tonight. Prepare for a show tonight.
Oh, it being for the benefit of Mr. Kite?
Thank you. Yes, that's what I've got.
A trampoline.
All right. Well, now's the perfect spot.
All
I know
right.
we got somebody who's late, so
That's okay.
we'll call it here. Next session.
Bum, bum, bum.
Shit got exploded.
Parties. Assassination attempts.
Guy Fawkes
Explosions.
mask? Question mark?
Yeah, we should get in one more.
You've managed to confirm all of these things will be part of the festivities, although not in what order and in what fashion.
The 6th would be.
So this should be fun.
Dragonfest.
Oh, thank you.
So you're good.
Man, I really had to dig deep for that last one.
Get yourself 4 experience to prepare.
I just spent a bunch of my experience today.
Can I borrow a pencil when someone has a second?
Yeah, mine doesn't. You can't have mine.
Thanks, bro.
You said 4?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yes, at our next session,
Thank you.
the main event.
All right. Cool. So,
So, yeah.
say good night, internet.
Good night, Internet.
Internet.
Ooh.